Yeah, so man, a lot of people didn't even know about your first project,
Okay, yeah, yeah,
Mo
yeah,
3.
yeah,
So
yeah.
get the people a little bit of insight on that.
So first of all, so I started. I went from the streets to acting, and then I went into started my own film company, which was Third Power Entertainment, the film company I run now. Uh, Blood on the Hands was more of me transitioning through life. You know, I wanted to do more for the black community. I wanted to come out and basically say, hey man, how can I fix some of these things that I helped destroy?
Okay.
And that's what Blood on Hands is about. So that first project was based on, I mean, you know, it was based on me taking a lot of
Responsibility.
yeah, and taking a lot of drug users to rehabs and reconnecting them back with their family and stuff like that. It was a job. Like my own dollar. Everything I do is always my own dollar. You know, spending my own dollar, putting the time and effort and getting it done. So, and the crazy thing about that film, I didn't even start to do the film. I actually started taking people to rehab first. And one day I was taking this guy named Ghost to the rehab out in Virginia Beach. And he was like, hey man, film me, man, because I want people to see what I look like when I,
Wow.
which is crazy. He said, I want people to see the transformation. I'm going in here for 6 months. I want them to see the transformation when I get back. And I was like, okay. And I filmed that, but when I sat down to watch, I mean, this is like 2000 and 2000 and end of 2001, 2002. So then I sat down. I said, you know what? That'll be a good way to show actually what I'm doing to help other people that are on drugs.
Wow.
To show that we and that's how that project started, called Blood on Our Hands. Cause Blood on Our Hands was basically breaking down, saying I was a part of this destruction. It's blood on my hands. Let me see what I can do to fix this. And the brand started that way. And so it was a documentary. I pretty much, you know, I had sat down with HBO rep, done a contract with them, took it to my lawyer. My lawyer said it was no good. I still had the paperwork to that. Going behind my lawyer back, I found this other company in Ohio. And they kind of gave me a deal. And I knew that if I took it back to my lawyer, he was going to kind of shoot it down. My main thing is I just wanted to get the film out.
Gotcha.
Well, by me doing that, they end up stealing the rights to that name, that title and stuff, and putting it on a lot of, and this was before social media. This was like Black Planet, MySpace, but I didn't know about all these distribution companies,
Gotcha.
these different platforms. So they took it and put it on all these platforms. I wasn't getting a damn from
Wow.
it. Yeah, so
So basically, you saying they offered you a percentage for their platform.
for their platform, they sent me checks. I got checks and I got paid. But when I would go to do marketing for it, I would find it in different places. I found it overseas. I found it in different states under different company names and everything, but that one project. Yeah, and you know, I talked to my lawyer about it. He said, "Man, you should have never done that." He said because, you know, what they done, they gave you a deal, promised you this amount of money, for the company they had set up, but I signed a piece of paper that gave them to license it other places
Gotcha.
without pay.
Wow.
Yeah, so, but I was young, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
things happen, and that's what killed the Blood on the Hands brand. And when I started True Addict, I made sure I had all that paperwork and everything in order to be able to do what I need to do. But yeah, it's about just helping and giving back, man, and coming out of the streets and not just turning my back on the people that I helped destroy, but actually come back in and see if I can do some positive in the hood, and it actually transform into this whole conglomerate thing that I have with True Addict, the books, the films, the movies, still doing some acting here and there. I'm a speaker, you know, I was part of National Speaker Association. Done some work with them for a couple of years, and then I started doing my own thing with that too.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And
So,
see, the crazy thing is, everybody that's familiar with you, and I say familiar with because a lot of people don't know you.
yeah.
You know,
yeah.
even myself, I've been familiar with you for quite some time.
Yeah.
But I say no. When you know somebody, I feel like it's certain things you should know.
Yeah,
And I'm being honest with you.
yeah.
I knew you was doing the acting. I definitely knew you had the film company, but I didn't know about your first film.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, definitely.
I knew about the Third Power,
Yeah, film company.
the film company itself, but I didn't know you had a whole project that you
Oh,
actually
yeah,
released
yeah.
and stuff like
A
that.
lot of, you know what? To be honest with you, and I'm like just 24. I'm being real. Like, the project was so horrible because it was my first project. by the time they beat me and everything happened, I didn't. When I finally looked, once I got some experience and being a director and a film producer, believe me, I wasn't even mad no more because it was a horrible project. Not saying what I put into it, but just all the editing, uh, what cameras, filters, everything that you needed to create a good film back then. I didn't have all the knowledge of that because I was an actor. I would go to a studio and I'm acting, they doing all that stuff. So when I started, so a lot of people didn't know about that project because once I gave them rights to it, it was pretty much out of my hands. And any promoting I would have been doing for would have made them money. That's what they had set up. If I would have promoted that film and then somebody came in and say, man, we want to invest 500,000 in promotion or this and that, they would have got the benefits of that because they had the rights to it. Yeah. So that's why a lot of people didn't know about it, because a lot of people, just like you said, you don't kind of know of me, but you don't know quite everything because most people know me just from being in the streets. You know what I'm saying? They just know me from the young cat driving big expensive cars and stuff like that and flashy clothes. I mean, all the way back to like middle school, high school, and becoming a young adult. They didn't see my transition because one thing about me, I always stayed out of town. So they didn't quite see my transition. By the time I transitioned, I was already staying in Greenbrier, which is two cities over. And
which from where we from was really like 4 cities
Yeah,
over.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
nobody
yeah.
wanted to really go to Greenbrier.
Yeah.
You might go grab something from the mall or something like that, but
definitely.
just to be going to Greenbrier, that won't about to happen. You going to the beach during the summer and that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. So I stayed there. And that's when I started my film company. So a lot of people didn't really know what I was doing, or people had seen me on TV because I was an actor for about maybe 2 years before that, 2.5 years.
Oh, wow.
So people would see me on TV on Discovery Channel, doing a lot of reenactment shows and stuff like that, and little commercials and stuff. But that was just me, basically still transitioning, because I went straight from the streets, went to acting school. Got an agent, and in 3 months, the school I went to, it was a year certification. Okay. I was working in 3 months. I was so good,
Wow.
Yeah, I was working in 3 months, so I started hitting real fast, and I got some stories about that, also because sometimes, man, growing up in a community, where I come from, where you literally, like I say, you have an outside toilet, like where we lived at on Fifth Street, 2-bedroom apartment. My mom, my brother, my sister. My aunt, her 4 kids, in a 2-bedroom with my grandmother and her boyfriend, and we had an outside toilet. So people don't really know where I come from because by the time they get to meet me, I'm doing certain things, but that kind of made me want to jump off the porch early, and that's what I done. I jumped off real early, got in the game, got in the streets, but by the time I got into actually the film game and acting game or whatever, I was feeling myself because I never experienced nothing like that,
Right.
And I was feeling myself like, I done good in the streets. I made it out of the streets. I wasn't really out of the streets when I was acting. I was still 1 foot in. But when my acting teacher was from California, told me like, man, you got 3 agents fighting with you. And when I got with them, I said, okay, I thought I was the shit. I am the shit.
Right.
And the only reason you think like that because you're so deprived. Where we grow up from, you're so deprived that any little glitter comes your way, it's start time,
Right.
And that affects a lot of young kids. That's why a lot of young kids today is shooting and killing each other because if you just say you're a gangster, they're gonna want to prove that.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? They're gonna want to prove that, and they're gonna shoot somebody and end up in federal penitentiary for 25 years because they don't have that because they're coming from a place where any shiny thing is gold.
Right. Not understanding.
Negative or positive.
Yeah, I agree to say whether it's negative or positive. Not understanding.
Yeah.
A lot of times in life we're taught or what we see is negative, so we tend to think that that's the route to take.
Yeah.
Which 97% of the time, that's the easiest route.
Always easy. Because that's what everybody's doing. It's like going into a situation where if everybody's driving on the left side, on the right side of the car, like in Germany or whatever, then it's easier for them to teach you that. Because that's where everybody drives at. Over America is on the left side. And it's one of those things that it's easy to follow suit than to go against the grain. These are average people. We talked about it earlier. These are average, normal people. They are driven by a program. You know what I'm saying?
And that's definitely something that I wish we could have got in the mix of my gimbal going down. We had a whole totally different conversation about average people.
Yeah.
You know, who's average and who's not average. And people not comfortable with not being average.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's how social media have the world set up now. Like, if you want to be not average, you want to be odd. You'll want to be different, you know. And even back, you know, when we was in school, I was a few years in front of you. I can clearly remember things that I did in school, and people was like, "Yo, that's whack. Why you wearing that? Why you got on that?" But then, you know, a couple of years later, you see people doing that.
Yeah.
You know, I died my first Reebok Classics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And some they have been doing in New York too.
I hadn't seen no red ones. You know what? I want me some red ones.
Yeah.
Boom, I want me some yellow ones.
Yeah.
And then had them on sale, $35. I'm going to get me 6 spells.
Yeah. Yeah.
All different colors and things like that. Start wearing the beads. You know, people like, yo, what's that around your neck? This, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but
that created your personality though. See, it's this thing about it is a lot of people are afraid to create their own personality and be who they are. You know what I'm saying? And that's big on you to be able, because regardless of what we accomplished as kids, we go through that. Some people make it, some people don't. But you actually got to fight to be able to be who you are.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like you got to fight that, because they're so programmed that anything you do outside of that program is weird, is whack, is what's going on with him. That's one thing. For you to be able to ignore that and continue to do it is a whole nother strength. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of kids go through that. You know, that's why they, you know, they doing what they're doing, and it's getting, you know, it's similar to the same personality. It's just that the kids today don't have that holdback. They don't have that. They don't have that fear. If that makes sense.
Right.
They don't have that fear, and you can instill fear in them. I mean, that's why the world is going the way that it's going down with social media and AI and all that stuff, because you got to create something else in this new generation, because fear ain't the thing. They don't have fear. They don't express it. They show no fear, and it's not smart. It's not smart.
No did not have.
Yeah.
Right,
They're it ain't like they're fearless towards doing something positive.
Bingo.
They mostly fearless doing something negative, and without conscious responsibility, they're thinking like, man, this is going to put me here. What am I going to do there? They're thinking about today and today only. And I'm not saying you shouldn't live and fulfill today, but you also got to understand, what are you here for? You know, and who are the people you're hurting? Because a lot of these kids, some of their parents, their parents is usually us, the people that came up with some fear. You get what I'm saying? So it's like we're having all the fear for them,
right.
You know, and they have lack of fear, but we actually get the grunt of the bullet, because I'm gonna be real with you. This 2024, we gotta be real. Even after all I just said about the kids, they still don't give. They don't care.
No.
They don't give a ish. You know what I'm saying? Point blank, period.
And if they get their hand on a firearm, I mean, man, even just with, it's like what, the 4th or the 5th? It's like the 5th of January 2024. You know, so many. I'm just talking about the 7 cities: Portsmouth, Norfolk, Newport News, Suffolk. I even say Franklin. Man, we done had so many shootings with young people. So many shootings with young people. I'm talking about senseless shootings. You know, and not just shootings. I'm talking about where life was taken. You know, and things such as that nature. You know, it's like, it's cool to do that.
Yeah.
Not understanding, like,
Spare your honor.
it's a chance you might go to jail for life
They
for something you just did.
They don't have fear of it though. See, I mentor these kids, these young boys, right? You can sit and have this conversation with them, and at no point of that conversation I see any fear in these kids. Right. I remember when I was young, even though I was in the streets, an OG could have a conversation with me, and you can see.
And it'll make you think.
Well, he can see it. He will continue, because if he can see that fear in me, then he gonna amp it up a little bit to try to leave an impression on me. I mentor these kids. They don't show no fear. There's actually, you end up talking to yourself. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And they just have that in them, that they feel like, okay, well, you saying this, but my peers, because it ain't us, they looking at their peers.
Right.
But my man got a body 4 months ago. We still hanging out at the such and such. You get what I'm saying? This is what we're competing with from our generation. We came up, 50 Cent, Jay-Z's, Biggie, and all that stuff. And to hear rap music, and what they were saying rap music about, we rarely follow anything that was in rap lyrics. This is a different breed today.
Yeah.
we heard it. We hustle and we got money. I might have put on some R&B because I know I'm about to move this half of
Right,
it.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
I'm gonna listen to a little Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying? Because I know I got a new package coming in, and you know, and I done that. I connect was in Fort Rockaway, Queens. I went to Fort Rockaway, Queens. I mean, before Jay-Z, you gotta say I'm a little bit actually. So when people try to put me, they say, Did you listen to Jay?" No, I was them. You get what I'm saying? During that time, you know, from the late '80s and early '90s. When that first time I heard Jay-Z, I was on in New York going to Jones Beach with my dudes out the sunroof of my Legend with bottles and stuff. Like, who this dude? Oh, that's Jay. Blah blah. He about to come out next year. This was '95. Jay came out in '96.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So I wasn't really a fan of them. I was them. I was doing what they were saying in their music, back and forth trips and stuff. I mean, I'd have had dudes say, "Man, yo, I seen you on the bus coming from New York. Like, he on the bus with me. I got a package, he got a package, and both of us nervous as shit." You get what I'm saying? You know, so I was part of that, which helped me propel myself because I never put myself beneath them. I didn't really have to listen to what they was doing because I was doing what they were speaking about. I felt like they were speaking about my life already. And that's what we came through. Today's child, today's young boy, social media has basically taken over their whole psyche. Because back then we didn't have that. Pages, you know.
Yeah.
Today they constantly saying stuff all the time. We had to wait till a movie. Scarface.
Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah.
New Jack City. We had to wait till a movie to come out to see anything outside of our community. Now these guys looking at dudes and somebody from here looking at a guy in California, Crip Blood or whatever, and he trying to critique himself to this guy. He following this guy, and it's just him and his phone. You get what I'm saying? And there's no way nobody to sway him because this is what he wants to be. This is what he think is cool, and that's what we had a problem with, man. But you know, 2024 is gonna be rough, man. You know, it's gonna be rough for a lot of the youth out there. And you know, I watch a little social media here and there. I try to not to glue myself into it, but I watch like, you know, Charleston White and Dr. Umar and all these certain guys and stuff, and you know, they projecting something to help society in some type of way, and they got caught up in the wrath of social media. Now it's like, let me see, can I do the biggest thing to be seen, to get views, to be, I mean, just like with the Cat Williams thing. Like Cat Williams, he was telling his truth. Because see, people don't understand this is what truth is, right? They say, is he lying or telling the truth? He's telling his truth. Because if you tell me you got a red Mercedes out there and I'm on top of that building, I say you just pull up in a red Mercedes. But when I get down, there's a red Ford Escort. You get what I'm saying? That's my truth up there. I thought it was, you get what I'm saying? So he's telling his truth. His truth is enough to be able to set other people off, regardless whether it's facts or not. It's his truth. And this is what social media has became. You get what I'm saying? It's like, how can I tell my truth and put my truth out there to affect what's going on social media, to be able to get feedback from them? And that's all it is. Now, I ain't saying there's anything wrong with it, because it's like basically back in the days where they used to take a letter, write it, get to the man on the horse, and then take him 3 months to get back. They say the king has died, or we've got victory over here. This is an so it's a positive to it. It's just that nobody's really educating or coming together enough to be able to educate the youth and say, hey man, there's some positive in this stuff that y'all are missing. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like it's, you know, that's where the breakdown at. But 2024, I think people should start telling the truth. Straight truth. Don't hold back. You know, I got my own truth. You know, I have dealt with people in our city. I have dealt with people, you know, as far as business and doing things like that. And sometimes things don't work out. You know, and it don't work out because of the fact that y'all have different personalities. That's when some people at our age range get stuck in who they are and who they wanna put out. You know, like a certain, I want to put this person out. And when you try to get together with them and try to build on something, they so affected by who's getting the credit or who's going to get the most of the credit, and I build this image, so I need to get this and snap. That things never come together, and they don't understand strength is in numbers and it's in power. You know, and I just feel like, you know, a lot of truth need to come out about a lot of things that's going on, man, that people need to know. That's why I go around promoting my book, and I go out and I do book signings and I do whatever, and I get up on somebody's interview and I try to be real with my truth. You get what I'm saying? Because I can tell you my truth, but I can't tell you whether that car was a Mercedes Benz or an Escort. I just know your style. So I'm assuming it's a Mercedes Benz. Make sense?
Right.
Because I'm so far away. My sight ain't clear enough. I can't being down, but when I see you driving luxury cars.
Right.
So they say, yo, he pulled up in a red car, said, I bet you some Benz.
Right.
And I'm gonna live with that truth until otherwise. And I think I'd rather have that truth than for somebody to make up a lie. See, that's the difference. You know what I'm saying?
It's a big difference.
Yeah, my lie would be like, oh yeah, he down there, he probably driving an escort car. He ain't got no money. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make that up because I'm trying to sway somebody to think something about me that they already thought about you. Because the only reason for me to say you was an escort because they know you drive Benzes. You get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna try to decrease that, and I dealt with a lot of that in my city. You know, doing stuff with people in my city. I dealt with a lot of people that felt like, they want to be in this position that I'm naturally in, if that makes sense. I'm naturally me. I'm naturally gonna be who I am. I'm naturally gonna be the guy that that people are gonna revert to for certain things or whatever. And I feel like, now it's clear that people want certain positions. It ain't really about them loving you and caring for you or want to see you do good or do great. They be like, yo, I want the same type of respect. I want the same type of influence and everything that this guy got. So I'm gonna link with him and see if I can get that. But it ain't genuine because you ain't really trying to learn nothing from it. You really just trying to see, measure me up. You walk around with a measuring stick. You put a measuring stick every time you see you got a measuring stick. And then I'm being honest with you because I know a lot of people, man. You know a lot of people. I'm talking about not just here, but around the states. I know people that's broke. I know people that's multi-millionaires. It never sways me. I treat everybody the same. Everybody the same, dog. Everybody. You know what that does though? The people that think you would treat them different start acting weird because they wanted you to treat them beneath. That's the real truth. They see you from a distance, so they already put themselves beneath you. When you go to them and you try to bring them up to your level, they're like, oh, damn. Instead of them looking at like, damn.
Instead of them embracing it.
Instead of them embracing, oh, this dude really trying to bring me up. This dude really see me as a man.
Right.
You know what they say? Oh, he ain't what I thought he was. That's what they do. Oh, he ain't what I thought he was. So during those times, after you do that so much with certain people, man, it kind of leave a bitter taste in you, know. So what I normally do, it don't affect me not because I've always been self-made. What I do is I just try to back up from certain people, gather myself, and find out what's my real mission. You know what I'm saying? Focus on my real mission. And that's what I've been doing, man. But it's rough. But 2024 is going to be rougher.
Right. Especially, like you say, you deal with a lot of the youth programs.
Yeah,
I have called you personally on multiple occasions.
Yeah.
And you came through dealing with the youth.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. And it was shocking because I worked at the school, but I'm a custodian.
Yeah.
You know, so it'd be funny because I'm telling the principal, that, I can get somebody to come up here and do X, Y, Z. But then when it actually happens, they looking at me like, yo, he made that happen. And I've been trying to get people for weeks.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
and you do make it happen. I show up.
Yeah.
See, that's the difference. Like I say, you know exactly what can be done and what the potential is. See,
right.
that's what they don't know. But like he knows the potential. But when people walking around with measuring sticks,
right.
They walking around with measuring sticks, right? People are always measuring you before they even know what's in the cup. You get what I'm saying? And if they were just genuine to understand that, if you say something, you gotta go on a person's track record. Come on, we talk about this when we was young. That's what our granddaddies used. What's your track record? They got when I'm doing something with the youth, my dollar, I show up. Times where guys didn't show up or they were supposed to be a part of it, they ain't had to worry about it. I showed up. I remember one time I called 15 of my friends to join a situation where we're doing something for the youth with the cars. Hey man, we're doing this for the youth. Bring your cars out.
And sometimes they act so busy.
Listen what I'm saying. They don't even act busy with me. They agree to it. When I get there, they're not there. So guess what I do? I go get 4 other cars, my own. I make it happen. I've never been the guy that really come up with excuses and say, that's okay, well, so I'm gonna still make this happen. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm gonna do what I had to do. I mean, I'm being honest with you. I do what I got to do, and I get whatever I need to get, whoever I need to get to help me to make that thing happen. And that's a sacrifice you have to have when you're dealing with stuff that don't pay. It don't pay. You got to be at a sacrifice because it don't pay. I'm pretty sure if I say, look, man, we're ready to do this gig, we're ready to do this such and such for the kids. You know, everybody gonna get paid $500 a piece.
Right,
Oh, they
right,
gonna show
right.
up.
Somebody might show up. Right,
They
right.
gonna show up. You get what I'm saying? But when you talking about basically doing something for the benefit of your community and the benefit of the kids, man, some guys just feel like, I mean, they kind of selfish, and ain't nothing wrong. It's a health. You could be a healthy selfish, but what I'm saying is that you got to understand that when you're dealing with me as a man, as a person, it ain't based on whether you want to do it or not, or whether you feel like you should do it. Just be straight with me,
Right.
so I can set things up accordingly. All I want you
Because
to
if
be
you
straight.
ain't coming, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
I
it's
ask 10
good.
more people.
That's what I'm saying.
I ask 10 more people.
That's what I'm saying. And guess what? And see, the thing about me, man, it's been real. And it's been all my life, even from the streets to here. I've always been the guy that pretty much, man, if you do something for me, I'm going to remember. I never forget it. Anybody tell you that I know, I never forget it. I don't care if it's something small. And I'm always going to try to show up and show out for you. That's just who I've been.
Right.
I don't change me. A lot of people change who they are because they feel like they've been so hurt or they've done wrong. I don't never change me because me, who I am is applied to a lot more things than you. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to change me for you because who I am is applied to a lot more different things. So I'm going to take that loss, but I'm going to pick up some over here. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people want to change. Well, I'm going to be this person. I'm going to be that person. Why I ain't doing this and this and that? I said, well, look, you're talking about 4 or 5 people that's hating you. What about the 10 people that love you? You get what I'm saying? What about the people that love you? You talking about 4 or 5 people, they hating on me. I'm going to start doing X, Y, Z. But the people that love on you every day, and showing up and making sure you good, this and that, you're going to change who you are for 3, and you got 10 to love you, and that's the problem we have in society right now. I'm talking about even in the streets. It's the same thing in the streets.
And that go back to like what the both of us are saying, people focusing on the negative side of the fence instead of focusing on the positive things. If we could just stay focused on the positive things, that's it. But it take a lot of practice to do that. You know, it take a lot of practice to do that because people are so tied up in the matrix, people so brainwashed, negative look like that's the way, which of course we know that that's not the way.
Yeah. It's definitely not the way. But then on top of that, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. You gotta realize the programming, and you always got. And I swear, everybody out there know I love them. I got number love for them. Like, you ain't gonna hear a story about me harming nobody because it ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna do nothing to nobody. But the reality you gotta understand, and you gotta understand people, is that you gotta understand we come from slavery, right? Even though our mothers and grandmothers weren't slaves, the same feeling from the slaves was passed down through them. You better not do anything outside and don't trust your people, because back in slavery, the Uncle Toms, the house nigga and all them, they bled that into our system. That you always gonna turn on me. Well, as soon as I do this, he gonna turn on me.
Right. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Especially when Willie Lynch wrote the letter, he said, y'all killing niggas, y'all ain't gonna have nobody else to farm the lands, because y'all killing them. Don't kill them, but kill them. You get what I'm saying? Up here, it'll last 1,000 years. It ain't been that long.
Right, exactly.
It ain't been that long.
Yeah.
So that helps me dealing with people, because when I deal with my own kind and they start getting flaky and doing things and showboating and stuff for no reason, I understand. So I don't never have no problems with them. You know, now I ain't gonna say I stay around them all the time, but I don't have no problem with them because I understand. I understand that if I don't threaten you, if I don't put threat in you, if I don't put my foot in you, whatever, some people need that supervision. If I put threat in them and put fear in them, for some reason, and I don't usually practice that, but what I'm saying, when it's a natural response, people fall in line, and you can get things done. It come from back in slavery, man. I'm telling you, like people might say don't play the race card, this and this and that, but how can't you? If I'm digging a hole if I'm digging a hole for 30 years, it's gonna take me just as long to fill it in, cause I gotta climb out of it.
Right.
First of all, how deep am I? And people don't understand, so that's why I'm quick to forgive and let things fly when I deal with my own people in my community and stuff, because I understand, like, you don't know. You just don't know. If they cannot express things they don't know. Period. You know, so therefore we gotta find other ways to do things.
And that's even like you said, you know, not going the race car way. But when you're talking about your own race, how can it be racist? You know, but like you say, it's a lack of knowledge. It's a lack of knowledge of self. You know, and that don't have nothing to do with no religion. It's just about understanding self, understanding where we've been. And like you say, you know, with the letter from Willie Lynch, he told him that keep killing for thousands of years. And like you say, it ain't been that long.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what he said. See, he got it down to a science, because when he told them, he said, if you get their minds and control their minds, you get what I'm saying, it'll last 1,000 years. It ain't been 1,000 years, so
It's only been 100 and something.
Look, it's passed down through generations. Look, my mom. Look, I recall my mom is a scared person through that system, right? She's a scared person. Like she ain't going out of line. She ain't doing nothing out of the way. She ain't living her fullest, you know, because these are the things that were indoctrinated into her. My grandma was the same way. You get what I'm saying? I remember my grandmother's daddy, same way. See, it's passed down. By the time we get to the point today that I think we could do something different, I'm the oddball. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm the oddball, because I'm telling like 12 dudes, like, look, man, we could come together, right? And this ain't got nothing to do with what I want to do.
Not even just dudes. Not even just dudes. Family. Because you one of the younger. That's three of y'all, right?
Yeah.
You the youngest.
Family, women, anybody that you call your people within a circle. I'm talking about whether they was born with you or whether they somehow. I done told dudes, sit down and had conversations with dudes like, look, forget everything I want to do. Forget everything you want to do. I say, how about we all get together?
Come up with something.
No, we all come together, go sign our names on a piece of property, sell it, get 2 properties. By the time we, in 10 or 15 years from now, we'll own the whole block. Because it's signatures. This is credit. You get what I'm saying? Oh yeah, well, I ain't got it, but I got it. Well, I got good credit. Well, I got some money. You get what I'm saying? But the point that I came up with it is why they don't do it. Because the Willie Lynch thing is so deep, man. The point that I think that, man, yeah, but Scoop thought of it, so, you know, if he thought of it, then he probably would end up with like 300 million. I'm only gonna get 100 million. I ain't doing this. Listen to what I say. Hold on. But I'm only end up with he gonna end up with 300 million. I'm only end up with 100 million. This is their mentality.
But they broke.
Yeah, but see, and they've been broke so long that you saying that they don't even affect them. You get what I'm saying? Because they've been broke so long, they just like, I just don't want him to be the head of what we're doing. So I stay broke. I just said, listen, I can, man, listen, I can pull out cards. I keep like a lot of old people. I done started entertainment groups, man. Entertainment groups with membership cards and everything, dog. Right on 5th Street, dog. Had everybody sign. I got paperwork where they signed and everything. It lasted 2 weeks. Wow. It lasted 2 weeks.
But a person dedicate themselves to go to a bar.
Yeah, that's
every
easy.
Saturday.
Yeah, that's easy. You got control of that.
They're dedicate themselves to go get a certain brand shoe every time it drops.
That's easy. That's easy.
You know?
That's easy. And like I said, you know, like just say with the book with my book or whatever, right? My book is very meaningful. It shows people actually what I went through from a kid. You know, I started hustling at 13 years old. Like I remember my cousin, I ain't gonna say his name, gave me the package and had a little medicine ball. When he went to his mom's house, they had the girl come from Lake Kennedy, grown woman, beautiful woman. He had sex with her at his mom's house for a piece of crack. Turned my world. I'm like, what? You get what I'm saying? So my whole mindset started real young. So when I got into this book and I started sharing the stories, the things I seen, because I can recall them so easily, because that's what happened, that when I was writing the book, it wasn't even a struggle. You get what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't no writer's block. It wasn't none of that, because I just literally wrote down the things that I seen as a young teenager coming up in the streets, in the game, in certain situations, because everything was normal. You get what I'm saying? When I was in the streets, going through those trials and tribulations with the things I seen, it was normal. It didn't seem like it was out of the way, or wow, what's going on there, or what she doing, or what they doing with her, or why they doing this, or why she prostituting her daughter out. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, this stuff was normal. It's like you was just there, you focus on getting some money, and you doing what you got to do. John doing this, like, what you doing that for, John? But you ain't really thinking about it because it's normal. So when this book came out, I wanted people to see, because there's a lot of things in that book that I actually put for parents of young boys, just so they can kind of get a visual of the type of things we see that they don't tell them. You get what I'm saying? Just so they can get some type of insight, like, man, y'all really be seeing this? This where y'all be hanging at? When y'all over such and such house, this is the type of stuff be going on. Hey, what you be doing when you at such and such? Because some of these things in the book are just things that when I was out with my friends and my cousins and I'm in the streets. You get what I'm saying? So I wanted the book to have that impact, and then actually show them at the same time is that I didn't go to the feds. I'd have been chased by the cops, dirty. I'd have been on the ground, handcuffed with a gun, and 9 jumps on the porch. I'd have been in plenty of situations that I felt like it wasn't my time. You get what I'm saying? Like it was saying, I'd have been beat with a gun, blood from the face, almost kidnapped, robbed by people that I thought cared for me, older cats. You get what I'm saying? 16, first time. That all these experiences, when I finally got my thoughts and mind together, it was sort of like one of those things like, man, what was it really worth? You get what I'm saying? What was it really worth? Like, what was really worth? So this book actually shows you, it adds up everything. Like, you can sit there and look at every situation that I've seen, everything that I've been through, and you can add it up. And come to the end of it, scratch off and be like, nah, this shit ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. And then I showed them on the flip side is that how I got out of the streets, how when I made my mind up, I mean, I got a story, and this is truth. This 2020 for the truth. I got a story where my man, you know, when I was out of the game, called me like, yo, you know, I got a thing that I need to do up. You know what I'm saying? You know, I got a thing, I got a brick that I need you to do up for me. And I knew that I was out of the game. But that allure of that game being part of your life, I agreed to it. You get what I'm saying? Agreed to it, done it up for it. And he said, hey man, he said, look, take the other half. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't really do, you know, like this one dude, you know, he does some other things, but that wasn't really his thing. And I turned it down. I was like, nah. I said, no. I said, no. I said, I'm doing this for you because you my peoples. You know what I'm saying? I say, but when I say I'm out, I'm out. And that was the strength of me walking away from that, because at that point, the dudes had tried to kidnap me maybe probably like 6 or 7 months before that. So I had time to gather my mind. You get what I'm saying? The connects that I had, they dude snitched on them. They went up the road. You get what I'm saying? Like, a lot of stuff had happened in a shorter period of time. And at that time, I could have used, you know, it's about $18,000. I could have used that money at that time. But I totally turned it down because I say, you know what? The first step for my real recovery is having something offered to me that I usually won't refuse. See, you don't know you healed until that. When somebody say, here goes some money, and you walk away from that, that's when you know you in the right place. You get what I'm saying? Because you always got to be tested. And that was the last test that I had. When I walked away from there, you know, it was a wrap. That's when I started my mental capacity. I said, what am I going to do now? What am I going to do? You get what I'm saying? And
so before you got offered that, did you have an idea of like which avenue you wanted to go down in life?
Well, of course, I knew I was going to do something bigger than that.
Oh, right, no question.
Yeah.
What I mean, did you have a game plan of what you was going to do to generate income?
Nah.
Because, to go from that type of money to...
Nah. I'm going to tell you, and I'm being real with you. My thing was that, am I going to come out clean? Because, the feds was picking up a lot of people, and a lot of stuff was going on. Yeah. So my mind wasn't so much on what I'm going to do to create another income. My mind was more on like...
Staying free.
Well, I'm out of the game, but don't mean I'm out of the game.
Right.
Because I told you my peoples got tore off.
Right.
Are they going to pick me up in a couple months?
Right.
Are they going to come knocking on my door next week? You get what I'm saying? So my mentality, I'm waiting for this shoe to drop, right?
Wow.
I'm waiting for this other shoe to drop because everybody getting towed off, everybody going to jail, everybody that I know. You get what I'm saying? You feel me?
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for this other shoe to drop, and by the time I realize that maybe I'm alright, I'm good, is around the time that I say, you know what? But I just can't sit still. I can't be idle. I got to do something to give back. Like I need to turn the whole table.
So you started that early in the game, trying to turn the table.
Yeah. I was trying like so when I started building on the first documentary, it was basically me going back because like I said, I'm waiting for the shoe to drop. But while I wait for the shoe to drop, I say, but I can't sit idle. Let me do some things to help some people in the community. Because I still, even though you out on the streets, you out of the game, just still your family. I mean, crackheads, hustlers, this is what you know. For the last, 15 years, this is what you know, right? So I went back to my community and I started, doing those things, taking them to rehab, making sure they're good, reconnecting them with family, stuff like that. Whatever I can do. And that's when I say, I took Ghost to the joint. He was like, man, I want you to film me before I go in. See, that sparked. If I wouldn't have been outside of that rim, it would never spark. Film company. This wasn't no Third Power Entertainment.
Right.
Third Power Entertainment got started off of this. What if I did film him before? And that's how I started. But nah, I was waiting for a shoe to drop, man. Because it had happened so many times with dudes I came up with, dudes I knew, they would get out the game, right? They would be working and, it's plenty of stories. They be doing anything, whatever, and people come. People say, yeah, you out now. But we got such and such on your paperwork saying you was the guy for him from 96 to 98. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. When you're talking about time and feds, and a lot of people don't know the law. So these young boys, they don't understand the law and how the law works.
Yeah.
So they think because they mans is still on the block with them, and he did something a couple of months ago, and he's still on the block. They don't understand. Sometimes they just trying to get, they still trying to just get evidence.
Yeah.
So it could be 2-3 years. People got to understand the laws of a felony.
Yeah.
The guidelines of it. You know what I'm saying?
They don't know.
How far back can they go? And then when you're talking about cold cases and stuff like that, I had an associate, they picked him up after 14 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he had changed his whole life around.
Yeah.
He won't even the same person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, sometimes when you get yourself tied up with certain people, understand it's a crazy risk.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And see, I knew that back then. I waited for a shoe to drop because I know, like, people got your name and stuff, this and that, but they doing the investigation the whole time. You don't know when they finally gonna hit a period. They can say, oh, we got him. So this your guy and your guy, you testify, yeah, this bad guy. Because I'd have had people that got to off back then, and the first thing they say, yeah, so I get in, they asked me about you, what you know about school? Cause that was my nickname back then, not school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that right there be like, well, damn, but at the same time, I was prepared for that because I knew what I was doing. I knew I was in the streets. I knew I loved that money. You get what I'm saying? I knew I loved that limelight back then, so I knew this could possibly happen then. But not until you realize that you want to get out of the game and get your life together.
You realize how dangerous it is.
You realize how dangerous it was, but then you realize, like, I don't want to be that guy no more. I hope they don't pick me up. Like I'm out of the game now. I don't want to be that guy no more. So now I ain't cool with being picked up. I ain't cool with the feds knocking at my door. I ain't cool with going to the penitentiary. You get what I'm saying? Within that 6 months period we got, that was like the worst period right there, just because it ain't like you out there making money. You just floating mentally. So to get to your question, like, so I did, because I always been in the cars, right? I always been in the cars, so that kind of like made me maybe say, you know what? I'm gonna just rock with the cars. So I still had income because I was still messing with the cars, buying and selling and stuff like that. That was going to sustain me for a little while. You get what I'm saying? Only for a little while until I found out what I really wanted to do. And but it helped me over for a while. And actually, to be honest with you, I took, the money, like I said, the money that I made, I had money put up. I bought a lot of expensive equipment for film stuff. Like I bought the first G5, the Max G5, $11,000 for editing. You know what I'm saying? Like it was real money. Like people don't understand. I started my film company I remember I got the license for it probably like the first of 2002. But I had already started because I was dealing with these dudes, the circuit out of JB's. They was teaching me stuff. My man Rufus teaching me stuff. Like, I mean, I had a club. I had the parking offer. I mean, I was doing a lot of stuff before I got out the game. Like, I was club, everything. But anyway, make a long story short, he was teaching me a little bit about editing and stuff like this and this and that. And then he was like, and they didn't even have the real deal stuff. He was like, I was like, well, what do I need to start my own thing? He this and this and that. He said, well, you can get this and all these and this and that. I said, well, what the pros using? He said, well, they using Final Cut and, G5. The new Mac came out with a new joint that's super fast, this and that. I said, I want that. They be like, you want that? You know how much this shit cost? So I bought all that stuff. So these dudes were like, the hell? You get what I'm saying? But I funded them, and these guys, they ain't from where I'm from. I met these guys doing the event, doing when I had do a party promotion. You remember I used to do the party promotion out in the sun? Yeah, I met them doing then out the way because I had the park out there in Norfolk, and we kind of kicked it. But anyway, so once he showed me what I needed to get and stuff like that, I actually literally bought all the equipment and stuff and didn't know what to do with it.
Wow.
My first camera, people don't understand, they didn't have no phones, they didn't have no DSLR, none of that stuff. They only had professional cameras. My camera, now, it wasn't a lot of money because I did hold back on that, but the first camera I bought that I still have right there was $6,000. Yeah. That's what I shot blood on the hands with, but I didn't know about filters.
Gotcha. Right.
Yeah. So that's why I say it was horrible to me because I didn't know nothing about filters. So I kind of I just winged it, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So back then you had to have real money to be in that business, in the film business.
Right.
You had to have real money, and if you watch a lot of people's stories that started film companies, I mean back in the days or whatever, it was a lot of money. And most of them used secondhand stuff when they started, but I didn't. I went and spent a whole lot of money and bought all that equipment to start shooting that film. Sparked from what we call back then a crackhead. How'd you film me? And I had I'm gonna tell you why he said that. I had a Super 8. Remember the video cameras with the tape out that big?
Oh yeah.
I had one of those, and he seen me with it because during that time I was still dealing with Rufus, and I said, well, let me learn how to move around with the camera. And once he seen it, he said, man, why don't you film me going into the rehab and then 6 months later and spark? Because you don't know who to inspire you. I keep telling people, you don't know who to inspire you to go in one direction. And I had already been an actor, so it wasn't like it was far away from that. I said, well, I can go from acting to being a director and doing a film. And that's what got me there. So this book shows my trials and tribulations from a young kid up until getting out of the street, showing that anytime you want to change who you are, you got an opportunity to. Whether you do it or not, it's on you.
Right.
You got an opportunity to make those changes and move forward, and that's what the book shows, that when I got out the streets, I was tested. For my man, I was tested with that. I was tested so many ways, but I made a strong point to say, you know what, I'm getting out of the streets, I'm done with this. I'm going to do something else, and even if I fall behind in what I want to do financially, I'm willing to take that risk to be out of the streets. And you got to take, it's a risk to get out of the streets. It's a risk to get in, it's a risk to get out. You feel me? And that's what I done, man. But it's been great. Over the last maybe 10 years, it's been great because I've been able to focus on doing what I do. And I love cars. Like, I've been a car guy. Like, I started, we'll get to that point, I started collecting cars. And
So hold on, before the collecting, before you start collecting the cars, and you was just buying nice cars, around about what age range was that?
my first car I had was, when I was 16 years old, I had a Ford Tempo.
Okay. Two-door, four-door though.
I had a 4-door,
Okay.
but it was different because I had white 5 stars on it. I had a system in it and all this stuff. I'm talking about 16 years old. I bought rims. You gotta think about it, I'm young.
Oh yeah.
I'm buying rims, systems, and everything. I had a white. I asked Lil Day, to cut hair.
Yeah.
Lil Day said, like, Scoop, I see you boy with the white 5 stars car. I'm coming through the. I'm hustling.
They were like 15s of.
They was
had
15
back
inch.
then,
The
yeah.
car came with 13s.
Yeah.
I had 15s on it. And I was always creative with cars even back then. That's why I tell people, I say, when I bought those rims from my neighbor across the street, which is Jamie. And he sold me the rims for $500. Then I went and bought the tires. Tires were expensive, like $100 or some dollars a piece.
Because you needed the 50 series.
Yeah,
The
low profile. They call it low
back then.
profile. So I bought those. But before I got it put on, I sanded the wheel down and painted it white, done the inside black, and put them on the car. So it was unique. I was building cars at 16. I had a system. I had 112 in the trunk, and I had these lights under my seat there. Every time the bass hit, the lights would blink. See?
Oh wow.
See? Come on, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We talking about 91, you know, back then, you know. And the second car I got off of there was my Acura Legend. You know, when I was 18, I got my Acura Legend. You know, so and then from there it was history. You know, all those cars were new back then.
Yeah, no question.
They was new back then.
Because you're talking about an Acura in the 90s, you know, especially anything before 98. If you had an Acura Legend,
Yeah,
that's like having a Benz.
94, 95, I had my
that's
Acura
like
Legend.
Benz.
94, 95 Acura Legend. I bought it, had 28,000 miles on it, which was low miles. It wasn't new, but it had 28,000 miles on it. You know, so that was my first luxury car. You know, and from there it was a wrap. You know, like I was hooked. I mean, I had my BMW food, but I had Sterlings, Mazda 929. Most of the people in my hood where I'm from bought their car from me because I had so many cars that every time I would take one and fix one up or whatever,
They wanted.
they wanted. Brad, Chris bought my 929. Brad bought my Sterling. My brother bought my 300 ZX. Like it was just like I couldn't keep a car. Because every time I would fix it up, they would want it. But I was stuck on BMW, so I would always keep BMWs. And so I love, so going through that time, that's, you know, in the streets making money, Shadows, Mr. Magics, you know, for all the people out there that know those clubs, you know, Virginia Beach, these were the clubs we hung at back in the days. But once I got out of that and I started buying and selling cars, because actually you got to stay, everything is one step towards what you're going to be doing next. By me selling the cars I was fixing up, I wasn't really selling them to make money. It's just like, such and such want that car. Give me that for it. It triggered me. You'd be like, okay, so maybe, let me see if I can make money there. I used to go in the newspaper, not Craigslist, before Craigslist. Newspaper.
Black and white.
Newspaper. Auto Trader. Come on, man. Let's go back. Auto Trader.
The little magazine.
Little magazine. They had to come out and take a picture of the car.
Yeah.
I used to go in there, find a car that was broke. Get my guy that worked on cars to come fix it. Call the lady back. I bought that Auto Trader. She come back, take a picture of it, and meet me out there on Military Highway. People that see this gonna know that I'm telling the truth. Meet you on Military Highway. Take a picture of the car, put it in Auto Trader, and then sell it and make a profit. You get what I'm saying? Because I was selling, everybody wanted my cars. So I said, I might well make this a business. And then the day I got into the car business, because this is a story, everybody don't know the story. I ended up buying a Mercedes-Benz wagon, gold with burgundy interior, because I like wagons back then too. I bought it from this guy named Michael Jordan. He was a car dealer. Just before I got it, started dealing cars from that transport. He sold me the car. He wanted like, I mean, it was probably about, let me see, this was like 97-ish, 98-ish, whatever. So the car was like a 92 or something like that. It was an old car. To me, it was an old car back then, you know, back in those standards, right? But he was selling for a deal for like 16,000 or something. Like, I'm like, man, let me get that, right? He came, we made the deal. I bought the car. I drove the car maybe 10 times. I had it for a year. Drove it 10 times, right? Because I had a green Mazda MPV too. Yeah, I had that, and I had a little protege with my little hoop because I'm still swerving. You get what I'm saying? But anyway, make a long story short, before I bought the Benz, I had called another guy about a 5 Series BMW, like maybe like a 90, 91 BMW 5 Series. He bought the car out to me. His name was Glenn, white guy. My Uncle Red knew cars. I didn't really know cars. I knew them, but I didn't know the mechanical parts on them. And he came out there, he said, you know what, this car ain't no good. He said, because the inner tire is wearing. And the tire's wearing, he said, something wrong with the front end, might have been a wreck. So I'm like, that's all shit, I don't want that. So either way, the white guy, you know, he took the car back or whatever, and he was working with Jose. And so year passed by. I went on and bought the Benz. So I didn't get the BMW, I got the Benz wagon. Year passed by. I said, you know what, I'm gonna drive the car, and I want to sell it. For some reason, we still had each other number. So I called. I said, "Hey man, I want to sell the Benz." He said, "What you buy?" I said, I didn't buy the. He said, "You know I didn't buy the BMW." I said, "I didn't buy the Benz." He was like, "Where you buy it from?" I said, "I bought it from a guy." Like, "Oh, I know Michael Jordan." He said, "Bring it to the auction." I took the car to the auction. Lost half my money. but everything costs, right? Me and Glenn became friends. I got a legitimate car business in.
Oh wow.
I got a legitimate car business.
Glenn, not the guy that was on Fenner Street, is he?
No. He's an old white guy. He's from
Okay,
the GV.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But what I'm saying is, I lost half of my money selling that car at the auction because I didn't know what the auction was. This is a dealer auction. I don't know what the dealer auction is. But me and Glenn, we still friends today. He 84 years old today.
Wow.
Yeah, we still friends today.
Wow.
We became good friends. And when I decided to get out of the streets, remember I told you? I said I was in the cars.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I was in the car, so I know I would be able to hang on and still make money, just not on the point of like I was making it with that. I could make a quick $10,000 this week. You ain't doing that in the car business. You might make $1,500,
Right.
$2,000 if you sell a car. You know
Right,
that. You know
right,
the car
right,
business.
Right.
So he turned. So that me losing half my money on that Mercedes Benz actually was a blessing to me because it got me a new friend and it took me on to the next level of cars. Because people don't know, people had seen me with cars during those times between the late '90s and early 2000s, and I used to have. I sold everybody. I sold dudes Benz coupes. 7 I sold everything. Like, yo, where you get all these cars from?
And all them Lex coupes you sold.
Yeah. I was in the car business now. You get what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't no dope boy. I bought this car for somebody that paid $30,000 for it. Nah, I paid $10,000 for this car. You get what I'm saying? You feel me? I was in the car business then, and that's what it translates for. So everybody, most of the people, anybody, I'm gonna be real with you. Anybody that had a luxury car between '98 and the early 2000s bought it from me. Hey, they'll do around that used to get money. If he bought a luxury car, maybe 7 out of 10 he bought it from me. You get what I'm saying? And I can name off names, but it ain't that important. But they bought a car from me. You know what I'm saying? Because I just had that connect. Cause I'm already here with y'all. Y'all still hustling. I'm trying to get out of the streets. But guess what? I got these cars, so when they get their money right, hey man, I want to such and such, I want to such and such. So that's what I done. But that kind of helped me make up my mind too. Also, when I decided to get out of the streets, I said, well, I'm gonna have to push this harder.
Right.
And get out of that way. But the car business, and you know the car business. The car business is flippy floppy. It's it's a great way to invest your money if you know you're gonna sell some cars here and there. But it ain't a guarantee. You get what I'm saying? Because you got to be invested into that vehicle, as far as mechanical, year, so many different elements with that. And people don't understand it. They think just because you're selling cars, you're rich. I'm like, nah, you might be selling cars to pay your bills.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And pay some bills off and get yourself in a position. So that was part of my thing. So the car thing helped me, but my main passion has always been basically film, entertainment, arts, and stuff like that because I'm artsy with my stuff. You know what I mean? And my love has been basically trying to save the youth or just give them another opportunity to do something different with life. So that's been my love and passion. And that's rough because if you ain't really got, and like I said, everything I've done, it's been my dollar. It's expensive. Like when you see me, like if you see me, and I'm pretty sure you just seen me do a couple events. Every event you see I posted, I came out of pocket. Every event that I've done, I came out of pocket. Like I don't call
I
nobody.
seen y'all did you did the back to school drive.
Yeah, my dollar. My dollar.
John Willis.
Yeah,
like
my dog.
A block away,
Yeah.
2 blocks
Shout
away.
out to a couple people that came and surprised me. My man Plump at Chop Shop. He came out. He showed up with a trunk full of stuff. My girl I grew up with, Frida, her husband, they showed up with a couple of stuff. My sister, she do the credit stuff, the credit boutique. She showed up with some stuff. But yeah, they really showed up out of nowhere without me asking them.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Wow.
Without me asking them, they just showed up like, hey man, I want to support. And then I just done the next event with Catch More Kids from over Newport News. The last joint, that was out of my pocket too. Set it up, everything, DJ, everything, bounce house, everything. Because every time I do something for the youth, it basically helps me realize that if I do nothing, then there's no need to even speak on or be a part of what we think the solution should be. Because you have to be the solution. If that makes sense?
Yeah, you do.
You have to be the solution. And that's what I promote tremendously, man. And but my life, I ain't saying complaining. My book tells you my life, what I've seen. If people could get my book and see what I've been through, to see where I'm at, because I'm not the person of what I've been through. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a different person. But it's jewels in that book that got me to where I'm at.
Gotcha.
It's a lot of jewels in it. You know what I'm saying? You can sit and pick that. It's a quick read, but you can get in that book and pick it apart. And it got a lot of jewels that you can take and apply to your life. And you ain't got to be in the streets. You could take the jewels and just see the things that I absorbed and how I was able to transition in that book and the decisions I made at the end of that book to be able to get out again and what I did. And I actually got things in there, things that I've done to be able to keep myself focused on moving in that direction. And so it's a quick read. Most people that get it, they love it, especially women, because when they get it, they take it from perspective because they really don't know what some of us young boys are going through. They don't know what little Juke going through when he run away from home, and when he end up in the hood.
Yeah. Single moms.
Yeah, that book tells you. They don't know what little Kickstarter doing in the hood when mama and daddy working 3 jobs. This book tell you what he doing. This book shows you what they're doing, and that's why I continue to promote this book constantly, because I always get a response, especially when I do my book signings and stuff like that. The people that I give it to, they're able to get back with me. They always send me a text or call me like, you know what, I gave this to my grandson. I got text message. Listen, my grandson loved the book. He might be 13 years old.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? Because the thing about my book is it's actually telling you that I made it out.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of people not sharing that. You know, it's like, oh yeah, such happened. You know, he got killed. They buried him and his mama. You know what I'm saying? This book is saying like, ho. No, you could literally stop and say, I ain't going to jail. I'm not going to lose my life. I'm not going to be treated in a disrespect manner. I'm not going to be somebody's boy. I'm not going to be driven by greed and envy. You get what I'm saying? I'm actually going to stop. And I'm going to switch over to live a better life. I show that. And then people that know me, for the most part, people that know me out, they only have to read this book. They just got to know where I came from, where I'm at. And if they read the book, they know that it's true. They know what it is. So that's why I try to promote the book as that. And I continue to promote it because I'm like, it's a good read. But on top of that, you can share it with your youngster, because the youngsters, they listen to these rappers and I shot this and I shot that. And, you know, and Young Thug and them, okay, yeah, but most of them ain't doing all this shooting and killing and then being on the block tomorrow or being on the video. You get what I'm saying? You feel me? And I'm not saying Young Thug, I want to get twisted. I am not saying Young Thug anything, but what I'm saying is they're using what they think he done against him.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
They're using what they think he done against him, and you don't have to live in that manner. You get what I'm saying? You know, so that's how it is, man. But other than that, man, 2024 is going to be a good year. It's going to be a good year, truth. I plan on putting a lot of energy and backing behind this movement I got. I'm going to be doing some seminars, be doing a lot of interviews this year, and I'm going to really sit down with some people, man, try to put some good things together. And, and one thing I'm not doing, I'm not dealing with people this year that's basically, want to use my movement as a crutch to try to make themselves look like they involved in something or doing something. Like, I can really do this with a lot of people that are really good, genuine people. They might not have the flair or the shine and stuff like that, but they're good, genuine people that really want to move things forward. And that's what I learned over the last couple of years. A lot of people that's in your corner that might not have the juice to attract people to your light. But what they do have is the light. You get what I'm saying? And it just needs a proper path to be able to shine through. And I met a lot of them good people through my path. And now I'm this year, 2024, I'm really gonna get with them and we start building and doing some things and moving forward. Because everything ain't about money and being rich and being a celebrity. Believe me, because if it was, I would have been doing something. I would just stay acting. Because that was good. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was acting, man, they were sending me everywhere. Carolina, New York, everywhere. I done before Pay the Fool came out, I done the documentary with Al Poor and Rich and the Black Hand of Death. I knew that whole story. Wow. So when Pay the Fool came out, I knew what was real, what was fake, what they added on, and everything, because I knew everything that happened in that movie. Because we sat with the people that was part of that.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? So if I wanted to just be rich and successful in Kettlebell, I just would have stayed in that direction. I was it. I was it at the Central. That's what my agency out of Virginia, they were sending me everywhere. But I was still halfway in the streets.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? I could go somewhere and do a shoot at a few cannons down in North Carolina, and they'll pay me $1,100 for that day. But
one day.
yeah, one day.
One day.
But it was just a one day though. But I was in the streets, and I'm gonna make $400 to $500 profit that day if I stay. You get what I'm saying? Because I was a breakdown king. You get what I'm saying? Like I take those. You know what I'm saying? And you can't mix those things. You get what I'm saying? But if I would have been smart, if I would have had other mentors around me at the time, because I was really winging nobody. Like, dude, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, dudes that I was hanging with, dudes that I was with, dudes that I cared for and loved and took around with me. Them dudes ain't even buy my book, my films, and none of that stuff when it came out. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't support me when I was doing that acting. They didn't support me because to me more like they wanted me. They wanted to see me fail or be where they at because they didn't have the potential and skill set to be able to do anything outside of the streets or hustling. That if they sit back now, they definitely didn't support me. But I ain't gonna say they was against me.
Right.
But they definitely didn't support me.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
And then in a certain instance, that almost, I'm just talking from a personal perspective. To me, that almost make it feel like you against me.
It's a natural feeling.
Because you ain't supporting me.
Yeah.
And if we supposed to be where we supposed to be, how can you not support me when I see you supporting other situations?
Yeah.
Like,
it's a natural feeling.
I'm being honest with you. When I was scrolling the gram, I don't really be on the gram like that. You know, I'll post something that I'm doing or something like that, and I come right off. A couple of years ago, I was on the gram, the page came up. Boom. I'm like, yo, I know he ain't got nothing on Amazon. I clicked the link. I wish I could remember the exact number. I don't know if it was like $11.99 or $21.99.
Was it the book or the documentary?
It was a documentary.
Documentary probably was $11.99.
I was like,
Cause you could get it in different formats. You could watch it on.
nah, it was a DVD.
Oh, the DVD.
I brought the DVD.
Oh, no. Okay. That was, I think the DVD was $21.99.
Okay.
I think that was. Yeah.
But when I seen it, price won't even an option.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And people go through different financial situations and can afford
Yeah.
different stuff
Yeah.
at different times.
Yeah.
But as soon as I seen it, I'm like, yo, this is a link. He's selling this on Amazon.
Yeah.
To me, that was big.
Yeah, because it wasn't a known thing.
I wanted to be a person that I can say, I brought this joint.
Yeah.
This is my man joint I brought
Yeah.
over Amazon.
Support. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
support.
it was like it was big for me, you know what I'm saying, to see, you know, your progression.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I didn't know your whole story.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't know that you was that deep in film.
Yeah.
I promise you, like I had no clue.
Yeah, man.
You know, not knowing that,
Yeah.
you know, that pretty much you got robbed with your first project. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, got beat.
You know, so
It's like the streets.
just to, you know, I only thing I mainly knew was the cars. I remember you did the AAA thing for a while. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then I knew you was doing car repairs. Then I knew that you was doing the mentoring.
Yeah.
I always knew you rebuild cars, and I always know you got a crazy passion for cars.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, definitely.
it ain't you love cars, you got a passion for
Yeah,
it.
it's
That's
a
a little
passion.
deep. That's a
It
little
drives you.
yeah. That's a little deeper than love.
I mean, it drives you because I got, I was talking to one of the guys today, and we was talking about cars. He's white for. They say, how many cars you got? I say, I literally have 13 classic cars. 13. And they think it's strange, but when I tell them, I say, well, Jay Leno got 200. Rick Ross got 200. Like, I mean, I'm just a little small man on the pole. But if I had Jay Leno and Rick Ross money, we never know what it'd be. You know what I'm saying? But so to go back to that, I had guys, that came up with me that I loved and showed love. See, it's the difference. It's the difference when you just say somebody came up with you, right? You still good with the light? You good? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But when you actually show love and give love, and these guys that you've been with for years, and you show love, and the initial thing when you come out with a project or you're doing something you're supposed to do, right? And you come out with a project, whatever. The first thing you expecting that your guys not to even like what you're doing because it's a normal thing when we friends, but to at least support what you're doing. I mean, like, Scoop, I'm gonna buy 5. As soon as you come out with them, I'm gonna just buy 5. I ain't even watch them, cause you my boy. I don't need to watch them. I'm gonna buy 5 on them just to show you that you know, and it didn't happen. And I'm not here talking against nobody for real. Like I'm talking against a certain person or whatever, because it is some guys that call me and say they bought a copy and stuff like that. And one of my other friends, he did show up and buy 5 copies and stuff. But it's like, if I say that, I would be lying and saying nobody supported me, right? But it's just like, it's like a certain person that you thought that would do more. Is that one person, right? Is that one person that you thought that would really get your back and say, man, I'm gonna do this and that, and they didn't do it, and it makes you feel like,
And even
You're
with
not getting support.
even with like not buying, you know, like it was plenty of times where I seen you had posted something, you know, and now mind you, I'm being honest with you, I ain't really know how to share,
yeah.
but I knew how to screenshot.
Yeah.
So I would screenshot it,
Yeah.
and I'm just repost it.
Yeah. Screenshot.
You know?
And like I said, whatever you done, I appreciate it, because guess what? People that I came up with, I'm talking about, like, we like this for years, 15 years, that wouldn't say, hey man, let me go. And then when other people done it, like yourself or somebody else, I'm just like, yo, so what's the hostility between me and you that you don't support? Because I'm gonna do it. If you're my friend and you come out with a project and it's something I can physically, I gotta go to another entity to buy. I ain't gotta come to you, but I can buy this from Walmart. I'm going to Walmart and buy 10 because I know that's going to go to help you later on. 10 can't make me rich, but 10 can say, hey man, you got me 10 copies closer to where I want to get to. And that's all I expected out of people that literally that's spent side by side with 10, 15 years. You get what I'm saying? But it didn't happen. But it didn't discourage me, because I understood that, you know, Willie Lynch is whipping, kicking ass. You know, Willie Lynch is real. Because for somebody not to do that, is to really mean that they feel some type of way about your success. Because it's so easy to do. We talking about dollars. We talking about niggas that's hustling to get money. We talking about little dollars. That it's more important for them. They'd rather deal with me wondering why you're not supporting me than them actually saying, let me do this and, you know, just so I'm not supporting. You get what I'm saying? But it hurt them too bad to do that, because that'll be getting me closer to my goal. And they really want to discourage me, because that's all it is. I ain't buying this shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't nothing.
Right.
They want to discourage me. They the closest thing to me. They can discourage me. I'm like, man, fuck this shit. I ain't doing this shit no more, man. Shit ain't popping. Because he know he ain't bad 10. His 10 would have got me over the hump. But since he ain't bad at 10, I'm discouraged and I'm going to quit. And guess what? And head like, hey, really, done some things and I can't compete with that. Because really, a lot of your friends really compete with you. You know, they really compete with you every day. They compete with you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about when you're young, because now you're old enough to not be with those people.
Bingo.
But before you realize that these people that you're around and y'all doing stuff together, they really, and you're shopping, they doing this, you're doing that, they really competing with you. Hey, who you called last week? John, what did he say? Oh, he ain't say nothing, this and that. But you gonna call him back? Nah, man, I mean, he said such and such. So, oh yeah, don't call that nigga back, because you know if you call him back, the dude might say, let's go with it, and now you control that segment. You get what I'm saying? Because these people competing with us right there with us. And I'm not gonna hold them fully accountable because of what it is. I can't hold them fully accountable because it's a natural. You know how something, like when somebody lose a leg, right? Somebody lose a leg and then they get an artificial limb, right? And at some point, that artificial limb becomes natural. Becomes like it's their real leg. Like you keep saying my fake leg, it ain't my fake leg. This is
my leg.
Yeah, you know.
This is what I got to use. So
exactly.
This
This is my real leg. It's not my fake leg. It started off that way, but now I've been handed on so long, and so that kind of happens to people's minds. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just. If I was a money person, we probably wouldn't be sitting here talking right now. I'm being honest with you. We wouldn't be talking because I probably would have went to the fields. You know what I'm saying? Or if I made it past that point, I probably would have continued acting, stayed with that, because I knew that was promising to me. I knew I had that down pat, and I would have been up there with Denzel sitting across from him when we talk about what we're doing for lunch tomorrow, or whatever. If I was a money person. Now I'm not saying to glorify that I made the right decisions. But what I'm saying is, I'm a real, not religious, spiritual person,
People don't know that's the difference.
And yeah, it's a
They don't
difference.
know that's the,
Exactly.
they don't know that's the difference.
I move on energy. Like I'm a guy that totally like I'm so connected to energy that it saved my life so many times. Even the time when the dude was trying to kidnap me, it's because the energy that I'm connected to made things go in a certain way. You get what I'm saying? When the first time I got robbed and kidnapped, like, see, this is the thing people don't understand. The first time I got robbed at 16, the dude hit me side of the head with a 357 gun, grabbed me, and then the older dude came and they put me in the car and took me to my stash. That's a lot of charges to me. That's a lot of charges. 16 years old. You know 16-year-old kids, right?
Yeah, no
And
question.
Well, how young were they when we was coming up there?
Right.
They was
right.
babies.
Right.
So I got robbed and kidnapped and taken. They say if I pick you up and move you to that front door, that's kidnapping.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
If you go against, you take me anywhere against my own
If I
will.
move you to that front door.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that these are the type of things that people don't understand this book is saying. These are the type of things that happened to me at 16. I'm going to have some shit going on in my mind. I'm going to have some things going on with my brain. I'm different now. I'm not the same kid. I'm different. I started moving with energy way back then because the day I got robbed getting off the bus coming from Nansen River, everything. Remember I told you tonight, I said, look, when we sit down and talk, you don't need to tell me the questions you want to ask me because everything I say is real and it comes out and I know it. I'm going to Nansen River. I'm getting off a school bus. Going down the street where all the hustlers hang at and get robbed at 16, getting off the school bus. How many kids you know get off the school bus, go get hit head with a 357 revolver?
Right. With a gun.
With a gun. 357. I know the gun was this big.
Right. Youngest don't even know about this.
Listen what I'm saying. And then the older dudes that's supposed to be cool with my brother and all that, this the dude, they put me in the car, this the dude that drove. But the dude with the gun to me, they drive me around to my stash. At 16, told me if I don't go in and bring the shit out, they gonna kill me. They gonna shoot my grandma's house up. Fifth Street. You get what I'm saying? So people don't understand. I move with energy. That changed me because when I think back there, I say, man, I was, what's the word for it? I was naive. I was naive to that point. See, these are all the blessings in disguise. Because if that wouldn't have happened to me, because I'm the type of guy, and I'll be like, I move with transition. Like I move. That day, when that happened to me, it changed me that day. Because I was naive. After that day, I was no naive. Because the guy that helped them do the thing was a friend of my brother's, and my brother was cool. The guy that actually hit me with the gun was somebody that I talked to constantly and went to school with him when I went to John Yates. You hear what I'm saying? You feel me? You feel what I'm saying? So I was set up because they knew that I was coming down there that day because that's what we was on there. So they was waiting for me to get from school. It was waiting for me to get from school, man. So that changed me that day. And I started moving with energy. People always say, they was like, yo, they like, Scoop, you going off the road, but I don't never see you nowhere. I say, well, maybe I'm part of a gang because this is my hood. I'm changed. I don't feel like I can go to Saratoga or South Suffolk or Welland Street and all this stuff, or Spruce Street, stuff like that. That ain't my gang. I've been betrayed by my gang here at home. I've been betrayed by the guys that I thought was part of my gang. I don't stand a chance in another neighborhood. I don't stand a chance in another neighborhood. So that day changed me forever to move with energy. To move with energy. And I've been moving with energy ever since then. And these are some of the things that and then the second time I got robbed in my hood, because the devil went out of my hood, because I wasn't doing nothing outside of my hood. I wasn't the type of guy that after that situation, the first situation, I wasn't the type of guy that's trying to get to know everybody and move around and be here and be there. But like I'm about foundation. I was a foundation guy. I had a foundation about, you knew who I was, you knew what I was about, I was here. I wasn't a guy that's trying to go along, get along and be here with. Like, like when you come in the end of the day, you be like, okay, like who are you? They know who I am because everybody ain't got a different story with me. Because I don't hang here, there. It's one story. And the second time I got robbed, it was a family member that set me up.
God,
The dude that robbed me wasn't a family member,
Oh, okay.
but a family member, somebody that I thought that cared for me. When I say family, I'm talking about like he's a kin to my first cousin.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And I thought, you know, we was cool, but he set me up to get robbed that time, and I think I was probably about. It wasn't even long after that. I think I'm probably about maybe like. No, I probably about like 19. I was probably around 18, 19, something like that. But what I'm saying is, the second time somebody put a gun in my face and robbed me, and it made my energy move a little bit more different. But okay, now you know the energy has changed, but now I gotta be aware of people that actually are kin to me. I mean, a family. You get what I'm saying? So by the time I got to the point where the dudes beat me with the gun that was trying to kidnap me, right? Because I could say that today, like I fought a kidnapping. You get what I'm saying? Because if it would have went in the other direction, I might not be here. Because it was during them times where they was tying niggas up and yeah. But by the time that happened, I moved with energy so much, right, that these same people that tried to kidnap me came to my house maybe 3-4 months before then, right? Now, and I can say this, but it might not be the same people. But what I'm telling you is, I stayed in a place where a number of white folks, quiet neighborhood, big houses, condos, and stuff like that. But I had an incident maybe 3-4 months before that where somebody came to my house 11 o'clock at night, knocking on the door, asking for somebody. I went outside with my gun because I ain't never been no scared dude. That's why I'm able to be in this predicament. And I went outside with my gun in my boxes, and it was 4 dudes in a Honda Accord station wagon. And they probably watching this. They be like, yo, that was the dude. You get what I'm saying? And what happened was I went outside with my gun. I said, what's up? But they was kind of like, this dude actually outside by himself and his 4 of us with a gun. Right. Let's go. Because nothing can happen right now but death, tragedy. Right. You get what I'm saying? Let's pass it on. Months later, 4-5 months later, when the dudes tried to tie me up, why I think it's the same dudes is because they came 5 o'clock broad daylight on Monday.
Wow.
Because I'm thinking they said, well, we can't get him at night. Night, he on it.
Right.
He ain't open the door because when the dude came to my door and say, hey, is James here? He thought I was gonna open the door and be like, yo, no. And it was 4. Plus I had a broad upstairs. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, I was still being kind of stupid though. Like, why are you going outside with a gun, this and that? Cause I just ain't never been a scared guy, right? But anyway, the being not scared actually takes me to the last situation because I wasn't a scared guy. I fought the big guy with the gun that was trying to kidnap me. Cause I don't feel like, you get what I'm saying? Like I'm like, all right, what I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna do? You get what I'm saying? So that took me to that point. But I'm thinking it's the same people, different people, same crew. And they said, we can't get him at night. Like at night, you ain't gonna get him because he alert, he ready. 11 o'clock at night. But they did almost get me that day because at 5 o'clock broad daylight, you ain't expecting nothing to go on. Nothing to go on. And I'm gonna tell you the crazy thing about it though. When this went down, I wasn't even in the streets. Like I had like this was like during the time where I say, you know what, I connect dudes with dudes, but I'm not gonna be. I'm getting out. You get what I'm saying? Right. And like I said, it's because of my energy. And the only reason why these guys didn't continue because while they was beating with the gun, right? One of my neighbors in the other condo, white guy, calling him white was there. He come down. Hey, what's going on? But I'm gonna tell you the craziest thing. And I'm not gonna give all the book stuff out, but when the dude came out, I'm expecting these dudes to like get up and go. These dudes didn't run, they ain't do nothing. They was professional stick-up boys. You get what I'm saying? They grabbed all of my keys, grabbed all of my titles, because I came from the auction. All my titles. Took off with that stuff, right? Drove out slow. That Wednesday is an auction day. People know dealer auctions, they happen on Wednesday, right? I go to the auction, come back home, and all my keys laid out in front of the steps.
Get out of here, man.
Off the key ring, all laid out in front of my door on the steps. See, that's when you know the game and everything you involved in is senseless. Because if you could be, and we ain't talking about now, we know the kids today are way reckless than that, right? But we talking about back then, for them to do that, meaning that whatever went on with us, we didn't get you, but we're going to get you. And we ain't afraid of any repercussion or whatever going on, because for somebody to come around there, to drive back around there, and it might not have been those guys, they might have sent somebody else to use those keys to try to get in the house. But evidently, after that thing happened, you know, I'm gonna change all my locks and stuff. You know, they definitely not thinkers. But the point that they say, hey, watch this, John.
That even if they don't come back, it's fucking with you though.
Well. So that day, that Thursday, that was Wednesday. That Thursday, I moved to Newport News. So at that point, where I was taking it like, oh, they tried to get me, but they didn't totally get me. But that Wednesday, when that happened, I was like, I had to break my lease, and you know what I'm saying, and got a townhouse across the water, you know what I'm saying, because I was like, somebody gonna end up dead, because it ain't guaranteed it's gonna be me. Right. It might be them.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So for me to avoid all of that, I had to pack up and actually move. And you know, that was one of the things that, like I said, I move with energy. A lot of people don't move with energy. A lot of people that I'm around, when I meet new people, whatever, I can feel the energy. A lot of people that I try to bring into my space or whatever, sometimes the energy is good then, but then it gets to another level because they really downplay the energy when we first connected. You know what I'm saying? So I get a lot of that happening, but I really move with energy. And one thing I learned, and I'm gonna be real with you, when I was young, you know, when I would, you know, talk to the OGs or whatever, they always told me, they say, hey, ain't nothing wrong with moving by yourself. And these were old heads, you know, these, like my uncle right here over here, you know, moving by yourself. And I kind of took on to that early, because when the first time I got robbed at 16, I thought this was my crew. On North Road, I lived on every street. Every street over there, my mom and them literally lived on every street, because you can't pay, you know, back in the 80s and 90s, if you ain't paid the rent, you just moved to another house.
Right, that's it.
You remember when no credit check, when I just moved? So we lived on every street. So this is my community. So once that happened to me, it changed my energy. But then the OGs will always tell me, they be like, I like the way you move, because I actually adopted what they told me. I like how you move. I like, you don't blow you by yourself. I like how you move. I said, yeah, because I'm aware. That made it harder. Like, even though I had situations, because you can't duck all the situations, the reason why it happened 3 times to me and not 15 times, because I always was a flashy dude. I always was getting money. I always drove big cars. But the reason why it only happened 3 times, then 15 times, is because I moved with energy. You get what I'm saying? That's how it is, because as we know, we come from the same area. We know dudes that's been robbed 15 times, 20 times. You get what I'm saying? Everybody, you get what I'm saying? So, like I said, the reason, because I move with energy, man, and that's why I still do here today, man. And I'm just like with all the other guys, like far as social media, like with Kat and Charleston and all them guys who are like, I can only give you who I am. You get what I'm saying? And my truth. And then you got to decipher that. You got to take that and break that down. You got to be able to see, does it apply to your life or whatever. You get what I'm saying? Because most people on social media, which we know now, is basically just looking to get some likes and, you know, get some money. And I ain't knocking them. Everybody want to get some money. I want to get some money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I got to be able to live with me, the person that's getting the money. So that's why my stuff might move a little slower than this guy or Cat, this nigga, because there's certain things I'm not going to do to draw that attention, because it's a balance in between me being authentic me, you get what I'm saying, and being able to create revenue at the same time. I'd rather wait on mine than for me to take what you're doing to get mine and put myself in your light, and people don't understand it. So I try to tell people all the time, like, you know, be who you are authentically, because money, you know, like, I don't let nobody waste my time. Let's put it that way. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't adding on to me, you taking away from me. If you ain't bringing me something, you taking something. That's just my breath. That's just me breathing. That's just me being here. If you're not bringing something, you're taking something.
Right.
Period. You ain't even got to subtract it, add it up. If you ain't bringing something, you taking something. And that's my mindset that I have now. And the skill set that I have for what I know how to do, I ain't even got to worry about that because I got so many talents and skills. Some of these dudes out here, man, they talentless.
Right. Yeah.
They
That
talentless.
need to be a word for 2024.
Yeah, they talentless. Yeah, they all they don't know how to do is kill, take, stake, and bar. They talentless. So when they see you with talent and skills, when they see you know how to take a bus and fix it up like this, and or take a building and this and that, that creates envy because they're talentless. I got so many skill sets but I gotta be authentic me. I'm not gonna do it just because y'all think I should do it. I'm gonna do it because I feel it and I feel that energy and I feel like I should go in that direction. That's why I push the True Addict brand because it's me. And even if I never see $1 million or $2 or $3 million, which I am gonna see because it's 2024. 2024 is the year of the money. I'm gonna see all of that. But what I'm saying is, I still gonna be authentic me when I get out there. Because God has prepared me for this because who He made. It ain't this. I'm gonna tell you about religion a little bit. This is what I tell people. I've been telling this to people all my life, right? God done all He gonna do. He made this place. He gave you oxygen. He built the trees to blow it back out. They filter it. He gave you water. He told you the difference between a spring and a river. He told you the difference between salt water. He done everything He can do.
Now it's your turn.
If you can get up in the morning and ingest a breath, if you can breathe, if you can get up in the morning, He's literally gave you everything that you need to be whoever you think is somebody. Bill Gates, Zuckerberg, Jay-Z, all of them, they got the same 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 eyes, all this stuff. You know what's killing you? It's that you're around the wrong people with the wrong energy. These people got you thinking you can't be nothing, and you believe it. And you believe it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And you believe it. You literally take all that they give you and you take it to heart that you ain't shit, you ain't gonna never be shit, and where you at is the best you can do, and it's a lie. If we want to start telling the truth in 2024, let's tell the truth. Let's tell the truth. Everything in your mind that you say you are, or whatever this and that, is exactly who you say you are. Whatever you say is what you are. And if you let people keep convincing you that's all you can be, that's all you can be. Because ain't nothing that these people have that you can't have. And money ain't shit. These dudes got billions and millions of dollars. Money ain't shit, dog. They got the same problems, the same issues, the same everything. It's just they just can buy more shit.
That's it.
You get what I'm saying?
House
yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, they just can buy more shit because you can't do nothing with money but pay bills and buy shit. You get what I'm saying? And when I say buy shit, I mean buy shit. You can buy good health. You can buy cars. You can buy bigger titties. They can buy bigger. They can buy all this shit. You get what I'm saying? That's all you can do with it. So people, because I might say this to somebody, they be like, well, if you got money, you can get the best of kids. I say, you still buying it. Without the money, you still buying it. That's all they can do. I say, live by your integrity, but I want you to make the sky's the limit. I want you to do exactly what you say you want to do.
You know what I always said, and it's funny that you said the sky's the limit, and I always feel like, we grew up with a poor man mentality.
Yeah.
And I say that because, not to take away nothing from my mom, because may God rest her soul, she only taught me what she knew.
Yeah.
Her mother and her parents
down.
only taught what they knew.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to become my own man, like you became your own man and you learned what you learned, your parents ain't had nothing to do with selling no cars or flipping no cars, none of that.
No dope either.
Right. So that was all stuff, film, like what?
Yeah.
Your mom would turn the TV on and won't even really know remotes back then. You know what I'm saying?
Click.
That's it, So when you say the sky's the limit, man, I had adopted something that I came up with. I ain't never heard nobody say it. It's just that was part of me developing who I was.
Mm-hmm.
I always said skies is not the limit when there's galaxies out there.
True story.
You know what I'm saying? But we were taught.
We adopted the saying.
Right. We adopted the saying.
The sky was the limit.
Sky's the limit.
We adopted
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I refused to adopt
That is a limit.
That is a limit.
Yeah.
When it's galaxies
When
out
it's
there.
galaxies out there.
You know what I'm saying? But if
Elon
that's
Musk.
what somebody got to take to move up to the next level, take that and let skies be the limit. But it ain't gonna change the fact the sky's not my limit.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I know it's galaxies out there.
And
I don't know how many.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, so that adopting that saying from a kid or whatever, like I said, poor man mentality is that we adopt things that were said because we're not creating our own things. You created your own thing. You say, you know, the sky's not the limit. Galaxies out there. You know what I'm saying? And people beyond us know that because even scientists know that. You know, the scientists know like, okay, the sky is a dome. It's literally a dome.
Right.
Until you get past that dome, man, it's dark. It ain't even light no more. You get to past a point where the sun is going that way, and you up here, and the sun, even though the everything, all the light you see is reflective off the sun or a star or the closest star, right? We still gotta encourage people to do things that they know. So why I say sky's the limit, because if you adopted that, if you complete that and you come back with me and say, you know what, I got up to the sky and found out there's another, you know what?
Right.
So I'm gonna always go with our common sayings until you show me something uncommon. If that makes sense? Yeah. When you come to me and show us like what you saying right now, if I'm mentoring some kids and I say sky's the limit, they rarely go. If you say what you say, they confused. You get what I'm saying? They lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you mean? You get what I'm saying? So I agree with you. The only thing I'm doing is just sometimes you have to dumb things down to be able to grab these people to get them on a track first. If you can't get them on the track, then you can't get them on the wheel. If you can't get them on the wheel, you can't get them on the move. So I understand what you say clearly. And when we talks among men and who we are, whatever, me and you could politic on this all year.
Right, yeah, no question.
I want people to shoot for the stars, which is another saying. I say sky's the limit. But I actually want them to get up there and tell me it's not.
Right.
I want them to get there and tell me it's not. I want to simplify it for them, and then them to get there, and I say, sky's the limit. They say, you a damn lie.
Right.
See, that encourages me. I mean, like, you went to the point, you went past the point of go. And that's why I try to promote to the young kids, because if you really don't get in groove with it, I mean, my car stuff works, right? Yeah. When I do my car mentoring stuff, it works because it grabs their attention. It's something that they like. So when I'm talking to them, they listen, and but they might not take everything, but it's better than chastising. You get what I'm saying? Hey, you like this? Yeah, you know, oh, that's fast for you. See, oh, I ain't never did fast. They open their minds. So now I got an open gateway for them to listen to me. So I try to dumb things down so they understand, because I can go to the stars and the moons in the sky too. Like I can go to the point where I can go to being a Gnostic. You get what I'm saying? Like I can go deep, but everybody can't handle that because they don't understand them terms of knowledge. So therefore, it's like you're reprogramming them for something when they ain't even done the sky's the limit yet. You get what I'm saying? And I try to, man, but these young minds, man, it's scary. I'm gonna be real with you. You know, like even though going through the things I've been through and being a part of things, it's just really scary because they're that cold. Yeah. Like these kids have become cold. Yeah. And what we used to mean, I was talking to a guy yesterday, not to change subject, but we was talking about the neighborhood back when we was young, like in the 80s, in the early 80s, right? And I remember somebody would die in the neighborhood, and the whole neighborhood would shut down. Like nobody would go to work. Miss Lena died, and everybody's home, and this and that. They say we gotta go to work tomorrow, you know, blah 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 blah. To now, somebody could die right there, and they open the building right back up in the next hour. Yeah. Next hour. They clean them up off the ground, and they open the building back up in the next hour.
The yellow tape might still be there. But
yeah.
They back
you know
open.
What I'm saying? So that's how disconnected we have came to, and COVID came to like life and death. We don't value life no more, and death is a cliche. Death is a cliche. You get what I'm saying? And I think it's more of like me and you, like ourselves, to keep mentoring and helping these kids until we die. Because one thing my mom told me when I was young, when I was dating this girl, and I was like, Mom, she don't clean up, she don't do the dishes and this and that. My mom said, look, let me tell you, baby, this. She's like, look, if ain't nobody give it to her, she ain't got it.
Hey, Your mom said a mouthful.
She said a lot of
a
this. She said,
mouthful
if ain't nobody get to it, she ain't got it. And I hate to break that to you, but if ain't nobody get to it, because some things the kids won't display, even if you give it to them. But when they need that, they will pull it out. If I tell a kid right now, I say, look, if somebody pull out a gun on you, I need you to turn the barrel in their hand. Man, I ain't doing that, man. Blah, blah, blah. But when they get in a position 2 years from now, it'll come back to them.
I'm gonna take the gamble. I'm gonna take the gamble. But let me just try to turn.
But that's what I'm saying. But if I never told them that,
right.
Even though they was hard headed, not listening, not sitting in their chair, and all that stuff, they wouldn't have it. So if you don't give it to them, so that's why I continue with doing the things that I do for the youth, and I continue to build and stuff like that, because I gotta give it to them, no matter how they receive it, because I can't program everybody. I just gotta give it to them. You get what I'm saying? If I give a dog a bowl of food, and he swallowed the whole, you know how some dogs eat and some dogs are nibble on. I can't tell him how to eat it, but he did get fed. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I try to feed the youth with things, even though they might not. Because some people give up, like, oh, they ain't listening. No, somebody's in that group. But listen, you might have inspired. It might have been 10 kids. You might inspire the next Martin Luther King. You get what I'm saying? But if you don't never go in there because you think they're hard headed, nobody gets anything.
Nobody getting it.
So that's the force we fight against, and that's what the True Addict brand is about. It's about uplifting, being positive, and me using everything that I've known and learned. And I've learned, and I've been part of every factor. Like, I'm a straight up dude now. Like, I don't want no violence. I don't want to fight nobody. I don't want no beef with nobody. I don't want nothing with nobody. But I done been there. You get what I'm saying? I'm well balanced. You know, I'm the type of guy that I'm trying to see you do good and be blessful. If some beef start, I'm gonna walk away from it because there ain't no benefit to me. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna walk away from that because somebody's ignorant in that.
Right. And I ain't the ignorant one.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna walk away.
Somebody's ignorant.
I'm gonna pray that you don't follow me.
Exactly.
But I'm gonna walk away.
because the thing about it is though, like if some people don't understand and some people can control their angers also. You get what I'm saying? So most likely I'm gonna let you know how I feel about a situation. We can agree to disagree. But I'm not about to get wild with you and get in no fight and stuff. I had a disagreement or some way, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm big on respect. Like where I come from, it's just stuck with me. I'm big on respect. Like I ain't gotta love you, but I'm gonna respect. And vice versa.
And you know what's funny? You say, from where you come from. You know, where I come from, that won't really what I was taught. You know, I was taught that in my household. So I took that from my household and applied it to my everyday life. And it's just like you say, even on my daily job with Suffolk Public Schools. You know, I tell teachers all the time, I've even told administrators, and they couldn't understand it. You know, assistant principal, was like, well, Mr. Jacobs, blah, 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 blah. I was like, no, I don't like y'all. They took it personal, though. Like, what you mean you don't like us? We like you. You should like me because I'm a likable person. But I don't like y'all. Well, why you don't like us? Blah, blah, blah. They took it all out of proportion. I said, I don't like y'all, but I'll always respect y'all.
Yeah.
See, y'all got people that like y'all that don't even give y'all no type of respect.
Yeah.
But with me, I ain't never gave you nothing but respect.
Yeah.
So when it's time to hold me accountable for something that I may not do right, guess what? You ain't got to worry about if I like you or not.
Yeah.
As long as I continue to give you that same respect,
that's it.
It shouldn't be no problem.
That's all I ask
you know
for,
what I'm
man.
saying? And that's a big thing in life, you know, and that's a major problem with the youth. They don't understand respect. So that's why they disrespect their parents. They disrespect their teachers. They disrespect their communities. Yeah. And I'm being honest with you, that even was one of the things that I felt like why I was such a great, if someone want to call it a drug dealer, when I sold drugs at 17 years old. Because I never was disrespectful with it. You got people selling crack, you punching a crackhead in the face because he ain't paid you $20. Why did you give it to him?
Because he's not smart.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a crackhead. He got a whole habit. He a fiend.
First of all, they got to be smart. Because first of all, and I'm going to just break it down. Like, this is how I was able to avoid all this stuff. Because I always had respect for everybody. And that's why I was able to transition and put out films and deal with these people trying to help them. But you ain't doing nothing. You going out, if you got $250 worth of crack, right? $50 going to be to build customers. People gonna come and want to buy stuff. The man might have spent
They-
$100 with
they-
you last week.
Last week.
And he might not pay you that. He might disappear. But a new customer. This is any business, any 500 for us, they give away shit all the time because to draw in the clientele. But see, a lot of people don't do those numbers. So you were successful because you understood that. Okay, I got 10 pieces, at least 3 are I'm gonna lose. So I spent 40. I'm supposed to make 130. But if I make 80, I'm good.
I'm good.
Right? Because guess what? Even though you gave away that 3, those people eventually come back and be like, you were good to me, man. I got something from you, man, and I wasn't able to pay you next week. And I don't spend my money. No, I spend my money with you. I don't care what them got. You know,
I don't care what they
people don't understand that. But the other people, they never done numbers. See, you got to start with numbers. Like, numbers is universal language. These people, why they was upset, because they never do numbers. Like, they jump into a game. They jump into a business. They jump a business. Like, they don't understand that you need to say, if you got to pay the IRS 12%, right? They don't understand that you need to be putting 22% to the side, because that's like a safety net for you, right? They don't understand it. But like, the IRS got to get paid. I don't care what you do. They got to get paid. Now, I'm not saying your thing on the side, that's your thing. But I'm talking about, like, if you got a legitimate business, wow, if you know you're going to make $50,000 that year on that business, whatever, you know the IRS going to get $15,000 of that. That's if you ain't got no write-offs, right?
Right.
They're going to get $15,000. So what feels better? In a year come, you to put 22% up, you put $15,000 in the bank, but you only have to pay 12%, right? Your CPA come and she do something. You know what? You get this credit, that credit, and now instead of you had to give them the $15,000, you only had to give them $2,300. Now you got money for the next year to make more money because now you don't have no tax problems.
Bingo.
Math is numbers is universal language. They don't start with that. That's where you get the dude punching the crackhead in the face. You hear what I'm saying? Because he don't understand numbers. Numbers is the math is everything, though.
And even with like you said, people understanding numbers. You know, even with, could we get ready to go deep a little bit? Even with looking at what you think somebody has.
Yeah, measure stick.
Right.
Yeah, measure stick.
Because they doing this and they doing
Yeah.
that and they doing this and they
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
But have you ever took the time before you go to try to rob? Wonder how much did that cost? You know what I'm saying? Because my money value is garbage compared to my assets.
Assets. And I'm all about assets. We're going to get to a
You know
whole nother
what I'm
story.
saying?
Hey, look.
You
Hey,
know?
look. You know what's crazy? Like, even before you said that, when I was leaving home, I was having a conversation with my partner in D.C. About the same thing. I was talking to somebody else. I talked to him. I was talking to somebody else about assets. My friend in Richmond. And I was talking about, like, look, I say, most of the time, my money is in assets.
It's
I
tied
say
up.
because money come and goes. I say most of my money is in assets that actually make me money, though. That actually appreciate over time. Because money comes and goes, and the more money you got sitting around, the more money you're gonna blow because it has no value
Got no
until
value.
you create the asset.
That's it.
You get what I'm saying? And but like I said, even back in the streets, those guys didn't understand numbers, right? The universal language, because they gotta understand, like, to be able to create. And most of those guys that act like that, they end up being the guys that went to jail, went to the feds, cussed the wrong person out and got set up, or you know, it don't never go the way you think it'll go, because you think somebody might shoot him, but no, everybody shoot him. Is that he smacked the crackhead 4 weeks ago, and the crackhead got tore off. So when the crackhead got tore off, they say who sell dope, they gonna get up the nigga that smacked him.
Yeah, he smacked me.
And he ain't even bought, you ain't even bought no dope from this guy in a year. But when the police tell you off, guess who you gonna set up? The guy surprised to see you. Hey, what's up, Leroy? Oh, hey, man, I want to get something for you, man. I ain't seen you in a year, man, but you know, man, I miss you, man. And the whole time he's setting you up because you smacked him. People don't understand because they don't understand numbers. Numbers are made even with cash and money. Money is made to circulate. It's not
That's
yours.
it. It's not made to keep.
Your house ain't yours. Your car ain't yours. Ain't none of your. All this is borrowed stuff for borrowed time. Everything is borrowed. Your time is borrowed. The day you born is the day you start dying. I mean, it's a whole bunch of stuff I can lay down to depress people, but I ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you gotta enjoy the moment. Like me sitting here with you at this moment, talking about my projects and my stuff, whatever. This is a moment. This is vibe. This is vibe. This recording today is never gonna happen again. Now you might interview me later. I might interview you later. But this recording right here is not happening again. It's all about the moment. And that's why I'm always clear and I'm always open, and I don't never need to prep for an interview. I don't never need to know. Like when I had the podcast, right? When I was on the podcast, they like, hey man, send me the questionnaire and all that stuff. I'm like, why are you trying to come up with good answers? You know what I'm saying? Like I just want to talk to you as a individual, see how you feel about things, but you got to come up with good answers. You know, it's gonna be a little weird. You know what I'm saying? But in the industry, that's what they do. They send questionnaires out. You know what I'm saying? So they get based on that, and it's cool. But with me, I'm different. Like anywhere, anytime. When I do seminars or whatever, I walk in. I don't have a whole bunch of people. I'll come in straight in. When I used to be with the National Speaker Association, when I used to go with them whiteys with them Rolexes on, suits. Mm-hmm. When I used to go there, I get up on the jump. They be like, "Well, where's your notes and stuff?" I say, right here," and amaze them. You get what I'm saying? You know, everything is in my head, so that's why I try to do things and to be honest with you, I'm gonna be real with you. People might look at this interview, they might look at us, they might have their own perception, and they gonna look at the video, right? They gonna see what we're talking about, what we're doing, this and this and that, and they automatically gonna bring out their measuring sticks. Because that's what people do. They gonna measure your podcast to whatever else podcast is out there, stuff like that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But one thing I'm gonna tell these people right now, straight up and down. Don't ever equate what we do or how we doing it with money, because you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. The reason why I say you're gonna lose is because we're here with y'all. This is valuable information that you could reach out to him, me, and be a part of what we're creating right now, and you passing on it because you got your measuring stick out. You get what I'm saying? They got the measuring stick. The reason why this book has been out for so long, because it's the real thing. This ain't no story. This is the real thing. The reason why I haven't catapulted to where I need to be at, where I should be at with me, because a lot of these people that they deem celebrities can't fuck with me. Right. You know, excuse my language, but they can't deal with me. There's on no level. I'm multi-talented. Right. Multi-talented. Right. But it's just the point that I decided for my life to be able to do stuff on my terms, and sometimes that'll hold you back.
Oh, no question.
You get what I'm saying?
No question.
I do stuff on my terms, and the way I want to do it, and build it how I want to build it, and sometimes that holds you back, but I'm okay with it, because I know my time coming, 2024, I'm cleaning up, I'm hitting the ways, I'm knocking everybody out the way, anybody that think they can, do anything to keep me from reaching my goals or where I need to get to, because now I'm on a different path. You get what I'm saying? I got a new film, True Addict 3, coming out. My Scoop Light 365 for the cars that's blowing up. With the car thing, I'm worldwide with that. Like, I got people hitting me up from overseas, I seen Germany, everywhere, want to know about car stuff. I'm like, dog, y'all in Germany with the BMW. Like, hit me up, hey man, I'm talking about like state, BBS boys, everybody know, because the thing about it is, I started collecting cars. The first car I collected, was in 2006. First car I collected, right? That's why I started collecting cars. But I was moving around a little bit, trying to get the right type of cars I was collecting. The BBS boys and all them groups, they just came out in 2020. Right. COVID came and everybody say we ready to do, you know what I mean? Yeah. So when everything hit the web with the car clubs and stuff, you get what I'm saying? When these dudes seen me, they was like, yo, you get what I'm saying? Because I was like, oh, y'all done made this thing for this now. Like I'm saying, like y'all done created an avenue. Because I'm an avid car collector. Like I'm like with the Jay Lendos and stuff like that. But now y'all done made an avenue for us brothers to be car collectors. You get what I'm saying? And then 13 classics. You get what I'm saying? They're like, oh, because most of these guys maybe got one or two. You get what I'm saying? But they ain't trying to show y'all I got more cars. Is that like, dog, when y'all started this, I had 7 cars. When they started, they think I already had 7 cars collected. You get what I'm saying? I just got once, but once y'all made an avenue for it, I said I can start building my Jay Leno collection, because that's the guy that I always liked, the way he collect cars and the way he do with cars. So I started that. But I got that on Smash. But I still give most of my time to the youth and to helping people, because I can take any one of these talents, my writing talents, my film talent, my acting talents, my car stuff, whatever. I can take any one of these talents and just say, screw all of y'all, I'm going to do this, I'm out of here. Right. But it's a disadvantage to the people that I'm trying to help because they ain't do this. You get what I'm saying? I'm not gonna let you, you know, and I'm saying you're somebody like you, your age,
Right.
people, my peers or whatever, distract me from what's most important, which is the youth.
Right.
I would have been gone if I let that happen. The way dudes be doing stuff and be funny moving and stuff, and you know what I'm saying? I would have been like, oh, I'm going to do this, nigga, fuck y'all, like just to show them, like, oh y'all, I don't do that though, man. I stay on the path. One movie I like and I want you to watch if you get a chance. It's one of my #1 movies, and the message is always clear, even though I'm not deep into the religion thing like that. But it's Book of Eli. Denzel Washington was blind that whole movie. Got to stay on path. He's seen so many situations that could have took him off path, and he said himself, got to stay on path, because you got to stay on path. You can't solve everybody's problem. You can't fix everybody. You can't do everything to put everybody in the clear. You can't make everybody feel happy. You can't bring people from sadness. You know, like it's so many things because you'll go on path. Stay on path, man.
What's funny is I actually seen the movie 4 times.
Oh, it's my favorite movie.
Yeah.
It's my favorite movie because it's the message of the movie.
Right.
You know what I said? That nobody knew he was blind until the end. They're like, yo, he was blind. I'm like, yeah,
Right.
Stay on path. God will guide me. You know what I'm saying? God, he was guided through that. And whatever. And when I say God, I look at it on a deeper level, right? When I say God, I mean that God has created this. You understand this, and then you take action. You get what I'm saying? And then you take action. Once you know better, you do better. Now that's the old saying.
Yeah.
And once Denzel knew that book was going to be better in the West, he was going to the West. He was in the East, going to the West. He said, if I get this book to the West, it's going to help people. But if I leave it here, they're going to use it to control people. See, that was a good movie because you can agree or disagree, and the movie's still good.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. No question.
The book, the religion of that book is to control people. But then that book is some good to some people that might be good Christians. Be like, this book really helps me. You get what I'm saying? But the book is just full of stories to show you what some of the people is going through, because they say what happened once will happen 10 times over and again and again and again. So if you could see your situation in that book and say, Jacob chose John, I'm not choosing John. You get what I'm saying? You feel me? And that's what the book is really for. It's really a guide to show you how people live, what happened to people, and how they maneuver during those times. It's a different time, but you still could take some of those things, those jewels, and apply them to today's life, because guess what? The only thing ain't changed is 2 legs, arms, 2 eyes, nose, lips, and some ears. Right? That ain't changed. That stuff ain't changed. So I can take and apply some of the stuff because they had the same thing back then. So I look at that movie as both sides. You ain't got to be religious to look at that movie. Or you can be the most religious and still get that movie, because the guy on the East said, I need that damn book.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And that was the point. And he said, so I could control people because they don't believe in anything. If I get this book, I could control them in the way I want to control them. And like I said, man, you know, that's
and just like you said with the Book of Eli, you know, you can be the most religious and get something out of it.
Yeah.
You don't have to be religious.
Yep, and still get something out of it.
So that's
Yeah.
the same thing like with your book. You don't got to be in the street.
Yeah, you ain't got to be in the streets. Nah.
You can get something out of it.
Nah.
Or you can be as deep as you can get in the streets.
And still get something out of it.
Still get something out of it.
And still get something out of it. Because one thing about this book, if you deep in the streets and you 10 times worse than what I was or whatever, the thing that you can get out of this book is that you never going to be this book if you keep doing what you're doing. You're never going to be able to tell your story. You're never going to be able to apply these jewels. You're not going to be able to see the other light. You're not going to be able to look back, because what you're doing is going to put you outside of the realm of this book. You get what I'm saying? Simple fact. So when you read through that book and say, well, everything has happened to this guy, and he made a conscious decision to leave this world on his own. They had to put him in a cage for 20 years,
Right.
and he ain't bleed out. You get what I'm saying? He was bleeding a little bit in the book, but he didn't bleed out. You get what I'm saying? I can do the same thing. So that's why I try to promote with his book, because most young kids, like they say, when they get to their nephews and the mothers and the aunts, they read it, and then they give it to them, and they say the kids like it. Because in the book, if you read it, I'm doing everything y'all done, I done. Everything y'all done. Ain't no, this book is well balanced.
Right.
It tells you about starting as young, selling, tell you about the glorifying the club, the car, all of that stuff. until you get to the point where I had to stop and make a decision whether I want to continue this life. You get what I'm saying? The average person without a good train of thought will say, I'm loving, I'm enjoying myself. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm going to be real with you. I love the streets when I was in the streets because it's a feeling. Love the streets. Love it. I'm talking about, man, you talking about driving $50,000 car, jewelry, all the women love you, getting all the attention you want. Loved it. There's a certain smell. But once you start reaching the other side of that stick, getting beat inside the head with guns and stuff, the smell kind of changes a little bit. You get what I'm saying?
Smell.
Kind of changes a little bit. But now you being in the streets so long and being part of that, it's just the whole stigma with that. And luckily, I was put in a position to try to change that stigma because you can't really talk about it. You ain't lived it. You get what I'm saying? To somebody beating you upside the head with a good 357 and 16 years old, you ain't talk. What we talking about? What we talking about, man? A lot of these dudes had little quick runs where they might have made a little money and got street and they called themselves, they was hustling stuff. Nigga, you ain't experienced nothing.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And if you out, I'm clapping your hands. If you out, because you're smiling at me, I mean, you got out before some stuff happened.
Right.
But that smell, man, will drive you, man. Like, that smell, like, I mean, I'm talking about, man, I still smell the coke, man. I still smell the coke. I used to cook that coke up in them jars. I still smell like sometimes I'd be in a place and I smell it. Because it brings you back to when you was doing your thing and you was getting that money, and it was the only thing that was important then is driving big luxury cars, hitting them broads, them bad broads, showing up at the club, iced out, new clothes, traveling state to state, going to Dream in DC, pulling up, paying and bounce $200. You get what I'm saying? Walking. When you all know it come from whipping that coat. That's where it come from, whipping that coat. So sometimes you'll get a smell, and in my standpoint, I get that smell, it takes me to a memory, but it also takes me like, fuck, thank God I made it out of that. You get what I'm saying?
So a lot of people did.
Because it drives you. Because it drives you, like, the smell of cooking cocoa, like, it drives you to where you feel like people give you a certain respect when you in the midst of that. But it's still your life. It's still what you experience. So when you get them flashbacks and stuff like that, you remember a good time, but you also remember a bad time.
What you considered a good time.
And you can't have one without the other. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the balance. You can't have one without the other because, it's one of them things where I know a guy that experienced what I experienced, and they buried him in 96.
Right.
Put him in the ground.
A lot of people in 96.
You get what I'm saying? They put him in the ground. So he had that smell too, but he ain't make it to my point where I'm smelling back on it. You get what I'm saying? And that's the blessing. So you can't have the one without the other. Everything I experienced, I had to have that. I had to get beside the head with a gun. I didn't think I had to do it at 16, but it was softening me real early. You get what I'm saying? I wasn't getting, 16, I wasn't getting that much money. I probably had 3 or 4 joints, O's or something like that, but I'm a little, you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I had more than them. Yeah. That's all it takes.
And the thing is, you talk about 3 zips, 3 ounces, for the people that don't understand the measurements. That's a lot for a 16-year-old at that time. In that area from that city. Yeah. You ain't talking about you from Harlem, living in Harlem. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You ain't from the Bronx. But I'm gonna tell you though, it was almost like I was in Harlem because I'm from Norfolk Road. Right.
Norfolk Road back then, was like part of the uptown going out of Norfolk Road. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It was sort of like that because you got to understand, we had the Hoggers, we had, that's where Mon was from, so it was, you can get it, but you had to be a hustler. You get what I'm saying?
You had to grind.
Keep Hogger, not to call no name, but that was, my first guy, everybody was loaded. You get what I'm saying? So at 16, to me, I had to get up to that point, but that's the reason why they robbed me, because somebody told them what I had. You telling an old nigga, and the nigga, he probably like a year older than me, and an old nigga, and somebody telling him like, Scoop got 3-4 joints. You get what I'm saying? Ain't no need to write. Come on, man. I'm getting off of school, brother. Why would one grown man and a guy my age throw me in a car and take me to my stash?
Right.
It gotta be for some real numbers, right?
Right. Yeah.
So when I tell the story, niggas think it's fake. I'm like, nah, what you think they was taking me for a couple of blocks or something? Nah, dudes told them what I was getting. Cause we all in the same hood.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie. Dudes knew I was getting, but I probably was speaking on it too. I'm young, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, both, such and such. That's why they done it. It was my fault that it happened because at 16, the average 16-year-old back then was probably buying a block, behind a block, maybe a quarter, something like that, and moving it. It was my fault that I'm bragging about getting this. Mm-hmm. But guess what? They done that. I let it slide. I ain't tell my brother. I ain't tell nobody because I didn't want nothing to come behind it, right? 16, 17, come 18, I will buy a $40,000 legend. These dudes still want it. See, success is a killer. Them dudes never rose to where I was at. Now I'm around here pushing, like y'all man, which is one y'all guy, driving these cars, and now the young boy that y'all threw in the car with the 357, driving these cars, because y'all don't do numbers.
Right.
I'm doing numbers. Y'all ain't doing numbers. This is the. When I see my mentor getting stuff, I seen it and I wanted to know how he get it. I ain't want his. I ain't want to take his. Right. I want to see how he get it. I do numbers, the universal language, mathematics, and then I got mine. So that's the point that I'm making. Is like a lot of guys back then, because I was so young, and I was on my own. I was, that's another thing. I had only 2 people that hung with me during that time when I was doing that. Guys I chose, not younger, but maybe a year younger with me or whatever. I didn't do crap. After that experience, that 16-year-old robbery showed me a lot. When I got robbed at 16, it changed my whole life. Because before then, I would go down there and be in the house with 10, 15 niggas.
Right.
I thought it was exciting.
Yeah.
It was fun. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be where they at. You get what I'm saying?
Everybody getting less money.
Exactly. After that happened, year and a half later, you get what I'm saying? I'm talking about young nigga. I'm talking about like paying a couple $100 to get in Mr. Mad. You had to be 21 and I'm 18. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about like cash. All the dudes I hung with were older than me. They had big whips and stuff. Were older than me. Everybody was older than me. I was a little scrawny. I put video up when I was in my legend in '95. Little skinny, dark skinned dude, hanging with the older cats because after 16, that happened to me. It changed my whole perspective. I'm like, oh, like every time I think like, you talking 16, man, people don't understand. 16 in the 90s. We ain't talking about 16 today.
Right.
We talking about 16 in the 90s and somebody slapping you. Now, he didn't put the gun to me and say, get up. He hit me with the gun.
Right.
And say, you know what time it is. You get what I'm saying? So that changed my life back then, and everything was supposed to happen the way it was supposed to happen. I don't take none of it back. Because had that not happened when I was 16, I would have probably still been green, and something bigger would have happened.
Right.
That would have probably been a little different than that because I automatically changed my energy and the stuff that I was around. Wow. So that's my life, and that's why I promote what I promote is because I really want to see people, man, get something out of me because we all gonna die. We're born to die. We all gonna die. I want to leave the best reflection of myself here for people to pick up on and carry on, if that makes sense.
No, it definitely make a lot of sense.
To
some people it ain't.
Yeah. But that's basically what I do, man. So every day, even when we talk, I'm like, look, man, your energy is something that I connect with. Let's do what we do. You get what I'm saying? Simple. I don't have no. So one thing about me, I don't have no pride. It's like I call anybody. If I feels that me and you got a good connection and we could build on stuff, we're gonna sit and talk. We're gonna rap. We're gonna do what we do. You know what I'm saying? That's something I just don't have. Like I've been around people that they walk around the measure stick. I don't walk around the measure stick. They walk around and like, okay, where he at now? oh shit, what's up, dog?
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
That's just saying me, man. Like I'm down to earth, man. I am who I am. I'm who I am. I'm the ball of blood and everything, the brain, the way it works. I am who I am.
Well, I definitely appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
We
man.
definitely got to chop it up a little bit later in 24, man. You already know.
You'll see. It's about to pop off, man.
Yeah, I wish you success with everything
Yeah,
you got
yeah,
going
about to pop
on,
off, man.
But what I definitely need you to do, man, tell the people about your upcoming projects. Somebody
Oh,
get
yeah.
in contact with you.
So, coming this fall, which I will have some previews soon. We got True Addict 3 coming out. Trying to do Netflix, but we'll see how that go. I got I'm still building the car club. Starting back in spring, we got new open enrollment for the car club, True Addict Car Club in spring.
So with the car club, is it like a certain year range y'all trying to stay in?
Be honest with you, dog. It's be honest with you. My range is from anything from 2003 and down. And the reason why I say that, some people have cars that they can't afford a classic car, but they can really fix up the car that they have.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? And in a range. True classic would be in the range between anywhere back there to about 99. 99 is really the cutoff for you're gonna because and when
it's 25 years, according to DMV.
Yeah. But what I mean by that, even with to 99, because this era from 99 is like really when they start experimenting more in the 2000s with cars.
Gotcha.
Well, from 99 and down, they had this simple layout for cars.
Gotcha.
You know, like it worked a certain way, it was built a certain way.
Gotcha.
All brands were built a certain way, so we're pretty good with that. The only thing that before 99 that was even close to being something out in the range was Lexus. Lexus was more technological than any other car brand, but that's about it. Everything else was like plain Jane. You can build it, you can do whatever. So, and I try to stay on the range because what I don't want to do, I don't want to shut the brotherhood out. Some car clubs do that. Some car clubs say, you gotta have a certain car from here to here and shut people out. I ain't trying to shut people out. Now, we can get into categories later, but right now we're in building stage.
Gotcha.
Later on, we can get to say, okay, your car, to be in this category, you have to have 88 to 97. You get what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
But right now, it's like brotherhood. You know, bring your car out, enjoy your car, because if you out enjoying your car, you ain't killing nobody. You ain't hurting nobody. If you're out doing what we doing, if you care about your car, you care about fixing up your car, you ain't worried about hurting nobody. You know, so we try to stay within the range. But 2000, when you get around 2003, which is the last year of most cars, basic stimulation of cars like the M3s, the M5s, and I base everything off BMW really. But the last real BMWs was in 2003, which is the M5, and then the E46 M3 went up to like 2006, but it still started in 2001. So some of the cars, right, it's same body style.
Right.
So we go on the starting body and not the ending body.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because if somebody came in and they say they had they want to be in the car club and they had a 2006 M3, but they started making it in 2001, we'll accept it because that car was so prominent in its time too. The E46 M3 was prominent in its time, and you can't really push it out because it was like the best driving M3 they ever made, which is the 01, coming right out of 99 and 2000. The body style for that car though, the E46 started in 98. The actual body. So it's really a 98 car. So we go on when the body was built. So the body was built in 98, but they scratched it out in 2006. You get what I'm saying? So we picked it like that. So about 2003 is where the cutoff is as far as the technology. You know what I'm saying? So I base everything off BMW, but we shift and shit. We don't. If somebody come in with a 2005 something, it's still old. It ain't got anti-tag, but it's still old.
Right.
So we don't discriminate against it. But most of the people love the cars that I love. Most of the guys, they love the cars, so they stay within that range from the 80s to about 99 because they just love the cars that I love. You know what I'm saying? You know.
And it's not a particular like brand.
Nah, you can, man. Listen, I love all old cars. I love BMW, but I mean, you pull up with me in an '88 Toyota Tucson 5-speed. I want to drive it.
Right.
I want to drive it. You get what I'm saying? I mean, I can think about so many cars, man. I mean, so many cars. It's way too many cars, man. But I just like old cars. You pull up to me in a '85 Ford Ranger 5-speed, man. I want to drive it. Cause I just that oldness and everything, especially when you got one and you got it looking nice. You know what I'm saying? So it don't matter. The car club is based on classic love for cars. Period. You know what I'm saying? So it don't matter. Now people got their different groups because, like with my man and Rolling Legends, they got I think they say 60 something to 89. They got certain cars, and that's the way they run this stack. But I do hang with them sometimes, you know, because it's just car stuff.
Yeah.
But they mostly American cars.
Right.
They mostly all American cars. Then I got my other man, Casbat, out in Virginia Beach. They do mostly Japanese cars. They got a couple BMWs big there, but it's mostly Jap cars. You know, so Numo Speed is Jap and German. So it's more today. It's more Jap and German car clubs than anything. The classic old school Chevys and stuff, they were spread out the most wide because it was our grandfathers and stuff like that. But today, when you go to a car show, it's mostly Jap and German stuff. It's rare you go to a car. I mean, I don't know the last car show. And when I mean car show, I mean like a real car show.
Like
in
Envy,
a pavilion or something.
Stuff that like Envy do with that.
Envy is different. Envy is luxury new cars, like exotic cars.
Okay.
So Envy does have an 850. He has a real 850, and he got a green M3. So he got two old classic German cars, but most of his cars are Ford GTs, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and stuff like that. So his is a whole other bracket because it's like luxury celebrity cars. You get what I'm saying? So it's all these different. And then you'll get, most times you see the guy with the dunks, you know, the dunks, they spread it all over. But now they went from just showing them cars to racing them.
Right, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So they took our grandfather stuff and took it up another level. Where they got motors in these cars that's doing 10 seconds.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And they still got the big 24-inch wheels on it and everything. You know? So it's so many different categories. But if you love cars, which I know you do, it's basically, man, getting something and making your own is really the thing. Just getting it and making your own, man. You know what I mean? Getting the car and making it your own. And once you do that, you pretty much accomplish the whole thing because you're gonna love what you love.
Right.
And I tell you, like I tell everybody else, like all this stuff is borrowed. Everything is borrowed. So if you don't love it, don't do it. It's all borrowed. You have it. All my cars, if something happened to me, I'm gonna have a wheel. All these cars gonna get sold to a car collector. They're going somewhere to a collection. If they don't get no money for it, they get donated to a car collector so they can live on. My nephew and all them, they will never get them. Ever. Because they gonna leave on the side of the road.
They ain't gonna know what to do.
It's an old car. If blow a head gas or something, they gonna leave on the side of the road. Junk man gonna get it. He gonna find out this is a $50,000 car, fix the head gas, and he gonna put it in his pocket.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no question.
But it's all borrowed. You gotta enjoy what you do and love what you do, because it's all borrowed. Everything is borrowed. When you come up here and you chilling in your joint and you doing your thing and having a good time, whatever, it's all borrowed. You doing it for that moment, you enjoying it, and that's it, man.
That's it.
Once you get that in your head, a lot of stuff will not worry you no more. You're gonna be like, oh man, I ain't worried about that. I ain't worried about this. I ain't worried about that. I ain't worried about this. Oh, broke. I ain't worried. I go broke. I got so much stuff to sell before I go broke. Believe me, in between me selling everything and my mind, I'm gonna find another way to get some money, and I'm gonna catch myself somewhere in the middle. Like we saying, going to the moon.
Right.
Aim for the stars and fall somewhere in the moon.
Yeah.
So you worried about stuff you need to do. The thing that you need to be focused on is, you breathing right? How's your heart? How's your liver? You know, eating. This is stuff you need to be worried about, because that can't nobody do nothing about it. Somebody can come take your house, take your car, they can give you a car and give you a house.
Mm-hmm. No question.
But you got to be responsible for how you feeling and how you taking care of your health. You get what I'm saying?
No question.
You know, so everything is borrowed, man. So I'm here, everything borrowed. You know, it's like with the Cat Williams interview. Like he told his truth. But one thing he didn't lie about is that he don't like most of the people. You know what I'm saying? He didn't lie about that.
And everybody got the rights to like,
Yeah,
dislike
yeah.
whoever.
That's what I'm saying. He don't like most people. That's what I'm saying. But that's one thing he's correct on, and that's one thing that he's not telling a lie about. That he don't deal with those people at all, and that's one thing that he made known. Is air for him, is fresh air, because when you make things known and you make things public, there's no phoniness. You know what I'm saying? See, people talk about what he said and was it a lie, was it true? But they didn't respect that he was saying to the people that he don't have involvement with and don't want involvement with, like, I'm making it public. So he can continue to do what he's doing. Because he do what he do. You know what I'm saying? And it was I watched it. I wasn't gonna watch it until I heard all the hype about it. And then I said, let me watch it. And I was like, wow, he's scratching things that I don't know anything about, but that's his truth. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we'll never know all the details then.
No question.
We'll never know all the details. We would never, even if I tell you the details, it's still details that need still details about details. You get what I'm saying? But the point that you can stick your chest out and say, hey, whatever they was doing, they sit right with me. How you feel about TD Jakes' thing?
I'm being honest with you, man. I don't even get into it because his income don't affect mine.
Yeah.
You know, whoever was there, whatever he do, whoever follow him, I don't follow people. I follow me. I follow my mind. You know, so long as I feel like whoever I'm following is the right person, I don't knock who people follow.
Yeah.
I'm being honest with you, and normally I don't get into the celebrities, and I'm gonna leave that alone. Like the artist is supposed to, and I say supposed, so I don't want to offend nobody's family.
Okay.
I won't dare. Okay. I only go off of what I know for fact. I won't dare, so I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But it was some people there. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely two people there. You know, every different time that it happens. You know, the artist slept with people that was way too young. And done certain things to them.
Okay.
I don't listen to their music, bro.
Okay.
I'm talking about if it come on the radio, I turn it down.
Yeah.
I can take the time to turn my radio down. I don't care how
control that.
How good I used to like the song.
Yeah.
Or how many women did I talk to off of his songs or slept with off of his songs.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
What was said about him, whether it was true or not. Now, I'm being honest with you. I believe some of it was true. And I could be wrong because I won't dare. You know, but it don't change my perspective. This is my perspective for this person. So, TD Jakes, I ain't never had that type of engagement with him to know if he did or didn't, and I don't care. That's just my person.
But you know what? Some you said that you said that I could touch on, and when you said it, because when you say certain things, I catch certain things, and I hold on to it. You only control what you can control.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. You only control, like you said, I can turn the knob on.
Yeah.
I only can control what I can control.
Yeah. Now, when I get in your car, I may be like, bro, I don't listen to that. But I can't tell you that. You know what I'm saying?
But respectfully.
But you're not going to see me in the passenger seat. No, because I don't do it.
But hopefully, and I'm just saying with me, and I know how people are different, but hopefully, if you got in my car and I put that song on and you said that, right, I'm going to respect that you tell me that you don't listen to that. You know, I don't need to listen to that song because respect is a big thing to me. Matter of fact, respect probably covers most of my personality. You get what I'm saying? You ain't gotta love me. I just want the respect. Even when I talk to women, it's the same thing. Like I'm like, you know, she be like, I say, look, whether you love me or not, I don't know. I say, but when you disrespect me, I do know that. Right. And if I'm not getting the respect, I'm not gonna stay. I'm not gonna be a part of this. I say I'm big on respect because one thing about respect says to the average human is that you are human. You got your own opinions. You got your own way of life. You got everything you do. I'm not going to impose what I think you should do because I think you should do certain things the way I do it. And when you realize that you're not doing that, that's where the respect comes in at, because respecting somebody is like, you know what? whether you right or wrong, I'm gonna show you respect. And if you show me respect, we could finally get to a situation where we can agree or disagree on, or we can make work for both of us. But respect is so big, and a lot of people just don't have it. They actually lose. Like somebody can respect you from a distance. Start hanging around you and disrespect you. They respected you when they didn't see you. They respected you when they weren't around you. They heard of you. They respected you. They see you from afar. They respected you. They sat down with you. They got to know you a little bit, and then they feel like they don't have to respect you. That's it. Had to happen to me time. So I'm really big on respect. I just feel like, as we go on, as we get older, every day's a blessing. Every day you wake up, you feeling good, your body feeling good, it's a go. It's a go button. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
It's a go button. I think people should work on themselves, work on their projects, work on things they want to accomplish, work on things, and they work on every opportunity they get to. And I think you should always remember that your job that pays your bills is not your life. You get what I'm saying? It might pay your bills, and if paying your bills and taking care of bills is more important to you, if it's more important to you than you actually living and fulfilling what you want to put out into the world, whatever, then sometimes you got to sit back and do some readjustments, because what ends up happening is that when you put Velcro, the million power, in charge of your life, they in charge of your life. It's just, you know what I'm saying? And they don't care. They don't think they have that conversation with you. They know programming. And we talked about programming earlier. They know programming. And if they could threaten you with living uncomfortable, and that's enough for you to not complete your. And I'm not saying don't work in the money, but I'm saying if you put that before completing your projects and doing what you really love to do, all the people that you say you look up to that's out there, that's big and stuff like that, that's all. You know what I'm saying? Because those people, most of those people, they're gonna do what they want to do, how they want to do it, when they want to do it, and they have came to that fork in the road where they say, man, I'm gonna stay at this job and pay these bills, man, and make sure I put food on the table, this and this and that. They came to that and had to make a decision. They say, nah, that ain't me. Nah, man, that ain't me. And they had to sacrifice something. And now when you see them, who they are, and even if you look at it from that perspective, they can only have two people there, but they sacrifice and they can help millions. Right? You know what I'm saying? So you can still love people and want to help them, but you have to sacrifice someone down the line so you can help millions, so you can leave a bigger impact. And that's what I boiled it down to. So I try to tell people, I said, look, find your passion, spend a little bit of time with it every day, and build your passion.
Dedication.
Yeah.
Persistence.
Yeah. A little bit of time every day, because that's all we got. I don't know. We don't. You might say, "Hey, man, somebody might get out here and get in an accident and die tonight, right? You might get out in an accident and die." I say, "Well, shit, I go sleep tonight and the sun can blow up. I don't have no control over that either."
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
It's a lot of what ifs.
Yeah. If you don't stop worrying about stuff you don't have control over.
That's it.
But if you do wake up in that morning, if you do wake up the next morning, and you want to be an artist, grab a paintbrush before you go clock in.
Or as soon as you clock out.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Before you go in, take it with you, put it in the car, put the thing in the chair on the stand. Start painting that thing. Once you get off work on lunch break, you go back to the lunch. Do a little bit more paint. You get what I'm saying? And just do a little bit every day. If that's your true passion, it will take over. It'll take over. Because everything is wrong. I don't care what you think you got, you ain't got it. I don't care what you think you got, you ain't got it. Straight up, I'm trying to tell you, everything is ball. The only thing we own is this moment.
That's it. About to cherish it. That's it.
Yeah. All we own is this moment. We here at this moment.
Well, that's what it is, man. I'm gonna definitely get with you later on in 24, man.
And
It's
we're
been
gonna
a
talk,
pleasure.
keep you informed. I'm gonna keep you up to date. When I get some new interest, I'm gonna hit you up. Let you know what tables we turning and how we moving, man, and
Gotcha,
show you
man.
the
I
growth.
definitely appreciate it, and I'm definitely gonna be part of that car.
Yeah, you a car man. You a car guy, man.
It's just, I ain't gonna lie. Last year, man, I had so many situations that just kept dropping back to back, back to back, back to back, back to back. But we definitely gonna make it.
Well, what happened to the white Mercedes?
The city kept fucking with me, and I ain't had nowhere to put
But
it.
where did you have it? Did you have it up there across from?
No, I had it on Nansen Parkway.
Okay.
I got a property over there on Nansen Parkway. So I was the city kept fucking with me, man. When I say they kept fucking with me, I'm talking about they kept fucking with me. Like that shit was crazy.